Welcome to Clueless Critics, where we critique, review, and analyze what we may not be qualified to criticize. I'm your host, Kyle Guillory, and I'm joined by my co-host.
Hey, it's Philemon, also known as Lavoid Art or Void in various circles.
Hey, so
Hey.
you ready to get talking about
What we did this week,
what
dog?
we did? Oh, yeah,
Bruh,
yeah.
bruh, fam, cuh, bruh, fam, cuh. Uh, basically, I uh, I just talked about how before the show I talked about how I wanted to get my various social media up, so I got that done. I got this awesome app that everybody should get if you're an artist or just have multiple social media. It's called IFTTP or
Which,
IFTTT. Sorry,
which stands for if this then this,
then
or
that. Yes.
if this then right. Okay.
So basically, it's a sentence setup of like a program. So it'll give you, it's an app that you go into, and then it'll connect to lots of various media like Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter, and whatnot. And basically, there'll be many what they call applets, just little programs where it'll um, basically be, hey, if I post something on Instagram, that's the if then. If I post something on Instagram, then also post that picture as a native picture on Tumblr.
So it does like basically you have an input and it gives you like various outputs with it.
Outputs,
So it's
basically. Yeah, so
okay.
I have it set up that my Twitter, Instagram, and all that get updated the moment I post to one of the social medias. Um,
Hmm.
Usually, if it's an image based one, I'll start with Instagram because that's where my thing is strongest. And then, so now my Instagram and Tumblr and all that are getting updated now, and they won't feel the neglect of me not checking in,
Right.
which helps just general social media presence. Um, yeah, it's a great app, and there's like multiple you can do like Cloud OS or Pinterest. I actually set up the Pinterest one today, which is nice.
Hmm.
So it's now I have my Instagram pictures are going to also be on a pin board. Because everybody forgets about Pinterest, but it's still a pretty big social media.
It's very useful for artists,
Bruh,
big time.
shoutouts to character design. The pin board for character design. I think they spell it character design on there because I guess one of the names were got taken. So it's
Right.
DESIHGH. Sorry, um, and it's character design, and it'll have like a picture of like Totoro, like from My Neighbor Totoro, holding like a paintbrush or something, and the cat thing, and it's so good. I remember when I first was really starting to do art, I would just scan those boards for days, and that now that I've actually gotten better, I can get more out of it, like even more. I'm like, I forgot about it, and then I came back to it recently, like, oh, I forgot what a treasure trove this is. It has like stuff from like industry professionals, like Disney and stuff from like the 90s, 1800s, how they broke down how they character designed Tarzan. Like they have like anatomy stuff, they have character designs for like recent movies, and they keep updating, and like comic
Hmm.
books, and like they have like character design ideas from professionals, and like how to, so you like, and sometimes they have like picture tutorials as well in there. So I would just look there, and like I guess maybe a lot of my design sense by osmosis at the beginning came from them, where it's like I have an idea of like, oh, shapes, you want good shapes or good colors to set your character apart. um,
Yeah, and have you been studying from that, or have you been how have you been doing with your practice recently?
oh, I just got back into it like yesterday night, so I haven't really practiced with it much today. I've been pretty busy. But when I
That's
first
not.
when I first started, fam, that was like the only place I'd really go. That and like Psychra maybe, Psychra
Oh,
and
okay.
like
You meant specifically
Cynics.
like practicing from there, because you're kind of worrying me right now.
Oh yeah. Right now I'm looking at it. Yeah, like my old like how like my native character design senses came from that probably like with a lot of other intangibles that I can't really think of, don't care to think about.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, you'd have to go down a rabbit hole to figure out all your influences. Be
yeah,
pretty exhaustive process,
bro.
honestly.
Just thinking about today's topics was like, whoa, frick.
Yeah.
Um, took a trip down memory lane. They said there's a bottle of slanging cocaine. Man, I
Oh
butchered
man.
that. But shout outs to Cornrow Kenny.
Anything else you did?
Oh, I don't think I told you this before the pre-production meeting. Pre-production meeting. Uh,
Sounds so official, but it's just us talking over the phone. That's
without
it.
hitting record. Uh,
Exactly.
so lots of roasts and jokes. Uh, um, basically, I have talked to a certain person that me and you know who might be willing to do some things, which leads into the first point before I really officially introduce that, is that we're really getting serious about doing a Patreon.
Okay.
And guys, so we're probably going to be hitting you up with that. We're still thinking of
Oh.
tiers. If you have
Oh.
suggestions for tiers, we'll consider them. You can hit us up on our Instagram, on in the comments or something, or the YouTube
Yeah,
comments. I don't know.
that would actually be pretty nice. Getting other people's input,
Yeah,
thinking if maybe they've seen something that we haven't, because we're
we're new.
yeah, you got to remember we're doing this specifically for the podcast, so
Yeah,
anything that would actually apply to
a
a podcast
podcast.
would be very helpful.
And don't be sad or afraid. We will possibly have our own individual artist Patreons as
Oh
well.
no, that's a definite. That's not a possible. That's definite. That's not possible. Like I will probably set mine up within the next couple days. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
wait anymore.
Oh yeah. True. I probably should do the same.
Yeah.
I love how I encouraged you to do stuff, but then like now when I come to Patreon, for whatever reason, I'm like,
It just
ugh.
I understand. Yeah.
It's it,
It's
it's a
sus-
it's when you do a Patreon, you're basically dedicating like you're saying, hey, I'm dedicating this. Like I'm like this is a thing I'm dedicating my time to, no matter how much, and I'm happy that you're giving me money for it. So I might
yeah.
have to do it per thing I release versus monthly because I don't
Oh,
know
just
if
because
I
of the time.
yeah, because timing and the fact that I'm probably gonna get a job soon is gonna take that, and I live in a household where my time is taken from me constantly. So I will
Right.
promise something or a commission to people for money, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll get it to you in like 3 days, and then a week later,
Yeah, that's understandable.
uh,
Yeah.
um,
So since we're getting into that, that actually
oh,
that's because you encouraged me to do the print thing.
oh yeah.
So
You don't know.
yeah.
I already been selling it on my story and stuff.
Oh no, I saw. I was told by somebody
Oh,
who
on
doesn't want
Snapchat?
me to tell. Yeah.
The Snapchat stuff I've done.
Some. Oh, that too.
I did it on Snapchat and on my story on Instagram.
Oh wow, no, I didn't. I didn't see the snap. Do I wait? Do I have you on Snapchat?
Probably not.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well,
I understand.
I have to remedy that one.
Yeah. Honestly, that's probably for the best.
Oh, okay.
No. No,
So,
not. No, oh, no, that sounds bad. When I say probably
so
for the best, it was a joke. I have an inside joke with my friends about Snapchat, but whatever. I'll add you, Kyle. You can you can join.
yeah, because we're not interested in each other like that. Yeah, I got you. I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah. Even all my friends that I have on Snapchat, we all if they're of the male persuasion, we just do jokes all day. So you'll be fine. You'll be
Yeah,
but there is a ratio I'm trying to keep.
yeah. I understand. Trust me, I understand.
Uh,
So So this week
Yes.
for me, I definitely pinpointed how to handle my practice a little
Mm,
better.
I'm.
You know, I which I had told you before. It's basically just focusing on one thing at a time,
Yeah.
and uh, it's so far it's a lot more productive
Mm.
than what I was doing. Simply because it's like
And what were you doing?
before I was just aimlessly practicing. Like,
So me
oh,
now.
right. Well, it would be like, oh, I feel like I'm weak at this thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
But then I
mm-hmm.
would practice it a little bit, but I would also, like, let's say I had a problem with legs.
Yes. Okay.
I would then, instead of just focusing on painting a leg or
Yeah.
just drawing a leg, I would
Mm-hmm.
try and paint a whole character in a scene, which,
Uh,
is, it's not, it's not addressing the issue. So what I'm
it's
doing now.
it's what I do as well, where I'm like, wow, this is a perfectly good leg. It needs a body. Oh, this is a perfectly good body. It needs a scene. And
Well,
then,
and not even getting to that point. It would be more like, oh yeah, this it was more like, oh, I just do the thing and the leg would be a byproduct of and it wouldn't get the actual treatment of
mm,
improvement. Whereas now
okay,
my focus is just, which I told you before, rendering forms with a pencil,
yeah,
and and not like, oh, I'm trying to render an arm, I'm trying to render clothes. No, I'm just rendering spheres and cubes and cones
mm,
interlocked, or maybe like various, like, just random shapes,
yeah.
and like abstract shapes, and then trying to render them
How many,
based on what kind of form they are.
how
It is.
how many minutes or hours do you dedicate to this in your normal drawing routine? How many hours do you think you draw on a daily basis normally? And how much do you dedicate of that time to that practice?
Okay, so I have, okay, in terms of specific numbers, I have no idea.
Okay.
I just, when I'm home and when I'm home, I'm drawing.
Yeah. Okay.
If, yeah, if I, so I work for, when I coach, I'm coaching anywhere from about four to about 4 o'clock
Mm-hmm.
to 7,
Okay.
and it's going to increase now because we're starting tournaments, so I'm going to be busy on the weekends.
Yeah.
But it's really only about 5 or 6 days a week, so I have a couple off days, 1 to 2 off days per week,
Okay.
and other than that, the mornings I'm drawing. Uh, then I go work out, come back, keep drawing,
Mm.
and then I go to work, and then I come back home and I'm drawing till I sleep. So I don't know the numbers. I don't pay attention to that. I just work on the stuff.
Just draw all day. I feel that.
Yeah, but I'm not sitting there at my desk like just just like sitting here and I'm just going at it. I take my time. Like, I work on something.
Mm.
I'll watch it. Like right now, I bought the club access to Anthony Jones thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm watching a video, trying to pick up something from it. Then I'll go back and work, and then I'm constantly trying to take in new information,
Yeah.
and but I'm sticking to this one problem.
Mm.
Like, I like, for example, there are a few videos I'm watching that have to do with like painting certain materials. Well, I'm not painting anything. I'm
Okay.
just drawing with a pencil. But I feel like seeing those things, and
Gives you
maybe
ideas on
they,
how to render it with a pencil.
right, it'll, like, I can still apply certain things from that into this,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
Um, yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm focusing on right now. That's what I've been doing. I did do a little like movie compositional studies, which
Oh
I had told you about before
yeah.
as well.
That's
Yeah, from The
that's such a
Shining, and
good thing to do.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna do next after this. Like, that's the next thing to tackle on the list
Mm.
after this one. Um, but yeah, other than that, I got the started up the print shop on Imprint, and which is cool. Helping me do that, and
Hey.
that was pretty. That was a good stress reliever. Like get a little weight off the shoulders. Like,
Hey.
oh, when am I going to take the plunge?
Hey guys. Look,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna do an imprint thing because I've been looking for a way to actually do prints forever. And imprint literally is just perfect. I'm so happy that Kyle showed me this. So eventually I'm probably gonna be doing this probably this week, honestly, on top of all the Patreon stuff. And so that being said, as a sign of good faith, I would love it if you guys would go to INPRNT, no I in the print.com and look up Kyle Guillory. Or
Is it under my name? I
yeah,
think it's under Fish Gills actually.
no, it could be. I think it's in both because I typed in Fish Gills and it came up with Kyle Guillory as your account name. So you can put in
Oh.
Fish Gills or Kyle Guillory. I think that's where all those names. It asks you for all those names when you sign up, like all your various social media, so that people can
Oh.
find you,
Yeah.
as well
Right.
as links. Um,
Yeah, it's
uh,
linked to my. I think it's linked to my Twitter, Facebook, and Insta. I don't know if it's linked to my Instagram. Maybe it is.
I think it when I typed in my Instagram thing, it like I didn't even put in the link. I put in my Instagram name. It made the link for me. So it
Okay.
probably is. So yeah, I'm working on making the 3 art things that it wants so that I can be approved. You already got your 3. Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then so please, as I said before, as a sign of good faith, everyone, please go to my man's website and buy something.
Or
Maybe
you can just check it out.
just check it out.
I, I
But
would be more comfortable if I what I'm doing right now. So it allows you as the artist to pay for your own print at a
Mhm.
discounted price, so you can check it. Like see the quality and everything. So I went ahead and bought one, and it'll be a week to 2 weeks by the time it gets here. But I just want to once I get it, I'm gonna check, make sure it's nice.
Which one did you
And
get? What did you one pro quality one did you get?
oh, which drawing?
Yeah, like which print did you get? A print? Did you get a
Oh,
notebook?
I got a yeah. No, I just got a regular print. I'm
Okay.
not gonna spend. Nah, dude, I'm not spending $25 on a phone case. You're crazy.
Yo, I
Okay,
was legitimately thinking about doing that. Cause that no, cause
for
cause I looked at the little yo, those previews are fire. Cause I saw the one with uh, the geisha woman, and I was like, yo,
yeah,
this looks so cool, just as it is. I high key want it. And then
there's
go ahead.
yeah. Oh no, I just yeah. No, it's okay. Keep going.
Well,
It's all good.
and then there's a thing where um, this is gonna be great. But there's a thing where your man,
Are you
your,
talking about Adam?
no, no. I was gonna start making jokes on my man Adam, but
Uh,
your man is out here, and I think if I might be mixing my own wants and desires with what I saw, but I thought I
mm-hmm.
saw like they did like have card sizes for those
Mm,
prints,
they
like playing card sizes, and I was like that.
oh okay. So they have cards, but what they're talking about are like are they're talking about what do you call those things? Gift
Like gift
cards,
card size. Oh, so
not
like
gift cards.
oh
What are the
the ones with the that flip open.
flip open? Is that called a gift card?
I
It's
mean,
so
they're the shape
so
of them,
crazy.
so yes, I would
Like
assume
a
they'd
oh
be
yeah,
like
you
gift
just call it
cards.
like a. Usually you call it like a. You say specifically what type of event it's for. You'd be like, oh yeah, it's a Mother's Day card
Yeah, 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 yeah.
or a Father's
A
Day or
convention card.
Christmas card. Yeah, you
Go to
say like
convention.
what it is
Yo,
and then
dude,
card.
this is gonna be great for you when you eventually go to a convention in Texas. We're,
Oh,
we're
which
mentally,
I'm making a point to go to
I'm
the
mentally
next one.
preparing our audience for you for a meetup with Kyle, and
Oh dang.
I want those pictures on the internet, Kyle, when it happens.
Oh man.
I want those selfies.
Oh my god, that'd be cool to meet some people that we know from Discord and all that.
From a certain place on Discord that's close to our
Certain
hearts.
Discord, yeah, that'd be fun.
Um, or just various people who live in. If we have people who aren't even like associated with our friend group that are listening to us, thank you. Please come back.
Oh yeah,
We love you.
yes. Please come back. Yes, please do. Please do.
Um, but also visit Fish. Not like at his house or anything. That's creepy. But at
What
a
the?
convention. You gotta be careful
Wow.
out here, dude. Sometimes you gotta just straight up tell people they're not invited to your house. Have you?
Specifically, you're
Yo,
not invited to my
you know how many
house.
people? You know how many YouTubers get like fans that are just like, "Hey, I want to meet you at your house," and you're just like, "Okay, could you like not be at my house?" I know I'm like, I know one of the great things about YouTube is that you feel like you know me, and I don't like dress myself up as much. But it sort of makes me feel unsafe when random people are just at my house. I'm not Jake Paul.
Wow, that actually happens.
A lot. Like a lot of
Yeah,
YouTubers will just move, and it happens again. It's
yeah,
not cool.
that's not cool at all.
That's why I said, hey, just telling you right now, I wanted it marked that if I repeat this, I said this in this episode, and if any of you run up onto one of us, fan or nah, we might have to bucket you.
But I think you know what I think that the issue is.
Yeah.
I think some of these people are following their passions a bit too much.
Oh, right. No That is a horrible transition. Yo, I am actually infuriated. But what? We're actually following their passions too much. Get out, bruh. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, man. That actually,
Oh,
that actually makes me, that actually makes me mad.
uh,
That actually, like,
so the reason he's so mad is because our topic for today is
so bad.
following your passions,
So
and that
bad.
was my fantastic
So
segue into
bad.
this.
So bad. That
Oh,
was that was that I can't even say that was like a deer in the headlights because I didn't see it coming. I was just walking and I got hit.
I think that's like the second time, man. I'm gonna make that like my goal.
Every time
That's
to
like the
just
second
just
time I've done that on one of these is
just
just a terrible segue.
just to blow my high, dude. Just be like, I'll just be so blown, dude. Just oh, before
Oh,
we actually do officially do this segue,
okay, okay.
the reason I introduced the Patreon is because we're gonna have a good friend of ours. We're in talks. I'm not gonna do anything, but we might be possibly, maybe, having animatics for funny periods in our podcast.
Oh, so like animations?
Animations, but without like the crazy stuff. You've seen them on YouTube. Like people do, like people do it for like the Game Grumps and stuff. Like they'll animate a 15 to 20 second bit of it that
Mm-hmm.
was really funny, and then that type of stuff. We're in talks. We're
Oh,
trying to see if the
okay.
funding will be good. We probably gonna have that as a goal for the Patreon that eventually might happen, so we can pay the man.
I
Uh,
love your roundabout ways of saying we're gonna have a Patreon. I love it.
uh,
It makes me just want to do it.
just have the Patreon. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
very high key. Very high key want to do it as much as possible right now. Um, who am I? Yeah, that's
That's
it.
it.
I think
Okay.
so. So let's talk about following your passions, talents, skill gaps, and RPGs.
RPGs.
All
So
right.
how do RPGs apply to? Okay, I'm not
Oh,
even gonna ask. So,
dude, you know me and my metaphors, dog. My metaphors are lit, fam. You want me to break down RPGs?
but and how they apply to passions?
Yeah, you do?
Is that what you were
Hello?
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Get ready. Buckle down, everyone. So, our topic. I'll introduce this topic. So basically, we're just watching. We're on YouTube as men who are of the internet kind are apt to do. Just being on YouTube, watching
Human
videos.
race at this point.
I mean, in first world countries, let's not be countryist now.
Actually, even without getting too much on a sidetrack here, even within the United States, there is about 2% of the population who does not have an internet connection. Anyways, continue.
Man, they must be living the life. Anyway, like
It's actually
that's
because
that's not a joke. Like I feel like some of them it's by choice, some of them it's because they're poor. But for the people who are doing it by
well,
choice,
it's
you're the
actually
greatest.
because a big part of it is because of internet providers, the actual internet
Oh
service
wow,
providers.
oh
Yeah.
wow, damn.
So, anyways,
Okay.
continue, sir.
Um, as I was saying, as I was saying, as I was saying, as I was saying.
We were
Video
going through the internet.
going through the internet, we came through a video and we see that this man from what did he say he was from? Dirty Jobs?
Dirty Jobs. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, don't remember
But
his
yeah.
name. I just remember his points. He basically goes in and explains the title explains that you shouldn't follow your passion. The title of the video is "Don't Follow Your Passion," and
Right.
obviously, if any of you have been on the internet for any period of time, you're like, "Ha, clickbait." Uh,
But you click it anyways
we do
because
click it anyways. Clickbait. And I'm okay with clickbait as long as it does pertain to what he's talking about, and it does in this sense. Um, it's to draw you in. So don't follow your passions. He basically breaks it down to he has a metaphor for people who would go on American Idol and they sing. And he says they sing, but but they're horrible at singing. And he says that's not the problem. There are millions of people who are horrible at singing. The thing that surprises him is that when they sing and all the judges are like, no, they act like it's a surprise.
yeah, their world just ended.
Mm-hmm.
They act like their world just ended.
Exactly. They,
Yeah.
they, they act like this has never been said to them before.
And he does like preface it with the celebrity who, when
Mm,
they're accepting a award, not
mm,
reward, an award,
yeah.
they usually say, "Oh, don't let anyone tell you can't follow your dreams.
Yes. Or stay the
Stick,
course and all that.
stay the course. Yeah, do the thing." And he's like, "Well, how do you know what these people, these strangers,
Dreams are.
like? How do you know? Yeah, how do you know what they want to do?
And you don't know if their
Maybe
dreams
they,
are going to actually hurt them or they've thought through their dreams or if their dreams are
yeah,
actually just viable at all.
right? Yeah, because like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna, I'm, my dream,
Mm-hmm.
my my passion is to one day land on Alpha Centauri B. Okay, that is unrealistic, very unrealistic, probably close to impossible.
Mm.
So, if not already, because
Alpha
that is
Centauri.
a
Ooh,
planet in
ooh,
a
ooh,
different solar system.
ooh.
So,
Alpha Centauri P. Yo,
yeah.
I can't get over that.
So,
That man better
so
be smarter than
I
fucking Elon Musk.
no. Okay. So, anyways, so he as you're saying, he goes on to say why people shouldn't follow their passions, and at first it sounds like he's talking about people not recognizing that they need a skill,
Yeah.
but the way he presented it, it sounded as if it were an innate talent, because
Yes.
he goes on later. You sound kind of far away, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I'll
Um,
just move the mic here.
But he goes on to talk about how when he was younger, he would he would watch his grandfather, who was
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
carpenter, build these homes
Mm-hmm.
from.
Yes.
Dude, you're really far away from the mic. But he would he would have these people, or no, have these people. He would watch his grandfather
Mm-hmm.
build these homes without any measurements or anything, and he was like, "Oh wow, this is my passion. I really want to do this."
Yeah. And he said he took all the shop classes he could, and da 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 da.
Yeah, all the
This is when he
shop
was.
classes.
And did he specifically say he was in high school at the time?
No, he was just I don't know. He said he was. Oh yeah, he said when he was 16.
16. So yeah, he was in high school at the time.
16. So he said he wanted to do what his grandfather did, and
Mm-hmm.
that's build homes from nothing.
Yes.
And
Or be as
the
handy, or
problem,
be handy, or do good at it, right?
yeah, he said, "Oh, but I didn't have the handy gene." And the problem with that is that he's saying he's first of all he's comparing his 16-year-old self without any experience or the
Mm-hmm.
one. It's mainly the experience that his grandfather has,
Yeah.
who had been doing it for years.
Years. A rough estimate of probably around 30 years. Probably.
Yeah,
If this is his grandfather.
right.
Um,
Which is, I mean, it's pretty insane. It's like I'm I'm not going to compare my skills, which are
mm-hmm.
very very necessary to achieve my goals,
Yeah.
our goals. You know, we need the skills necessary to achieve our goals, and
Or our
whether or not it's a
dreams.
pat or our dreams, yeah, whether or not it's a passion, you need skills,
And
not
time.
and time. Yeah, so
It's the argument that if any of you are in art, it's the sort of sentiment that you get after a while, especially if you start to slowly improve and people start complimenting you. You start to hear you hear this a lot, like, "Oh, I wish I was as talented as you," or "Oh,
yeah,
I wish I did this." But a lot of people don't understand with the art forms just as much as you would in sports, just as much as you would in sports, that they're all skills that are worked on for whatever reason. There, maybe it's movies, maybe it might just be sports movies have gotten conditioned the zeitgeist or the social idea of, oh, you need to work at this skill. Like if I worked hard enough, I could drain 3 pointers like Steph Curry. But for whatever reason, it might actually be movies. We actually might need to think about this. It might be movies. For whatever reason, you have to be a genius, or you're just born with this talent, or whatever. Or you see a character who just first thing you see of him on screen is him drawing this decent piece, or this decently well, right? And you think, oh, you start to think, oh, art is something that's innate.
innate. Yeah,
When just like the basketball player who made 1,000 shots and missed, there's 1,000 sketches that us artisans have gone through that built up our skill to a point. Michelangelo didn't do didn't paint the ceilings of cathedrals when he was 10.
yeah, yeah. The Sistine Chapel, and then yeah, there's a lot of things that he did that there's just no way. I
he
mean,
he was taught. They said, if I remember right, I might be mixing up Leonardo and Michelangelo, but if I remember right, the place where he was learning from, or the person that was teaching him, didn't let him. They didn't let him even touch paint until he was good enough to draw with pencil.
wow, yeah, you know that's so funny because it goes. This is it's so weird because that's like I don't know if this is a like a sidetrack, but
Or
it's
charcoal,
definitely
or whatever
related.
the equivalent was at the time.
Yeah, but my whole goal, like I really want to be really good at painting. I
Mm-hmm.
just really twice, whatever.
Yeah.
I want to be an amazing painter, but I know that if I can't understand form
Mm-hmm.
at the most basic level,
It's
then
not
I
going to work
can't
out.
it's not going to work out. So I that's why I'm pinpointing this with pencil,
Yeah.
and my next step, material like tools wise, will be, which I've already done some, is just um, monochromatic or black and white
Mm-hmm.
paintings,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then move on from there. But it's just taking the time to actually not really, it's not necessarily master, but get a level of mastery
Yeah.
at a thing
Yeah.
before moving on.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Um,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
which which I think a lot of people aren't, at least from what he's saying in this video, is a lot of people are having these preconceived notions that, like, oh yes, when this celebrity says, oh yeah, I'm going to follow my dream, I can just
Just because I have the
magically,
just because I have the dream means I'm automatically good at it.
yeah, like, somehow, man, I remember feeling the same way. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not uncommon, it's very common to feel this way.
Yes.
When I first was like, I want to be an artist, and I remember thinking, while watching a lot of YouTubers now,
Yeah.
I remember thinking, oh man, oh, I get all this stuff, I understand everything, man, I'm great, I'm already amazing.
Or
I remember thinking that.
okay.
I remember I remember thinking that, like, because this is just my example. I'm
Yeah.
not saying this is how it applies to everyone, but I remember seeing, like, tutorials on uh, like drawing the human figure
Mm-hmm.
a certain way or whatever, and then compositional tutorials, or painting tutorials. I'd be like, oh yeah, I can do that, and I'm like, yeah, I it wasn't necessarily like, oh, I'm not going to practice that. It was just like I had this delusional idea that I could achieve something at that moment that I didn't have the
You
skills to achieve.
you understood it, but you but you thought because you understood it, you could execute it. There's a gap
Exactly,
there. There's still
a big gap,
there's a
a
point
very big one.
there's a point in which your brain sort of understands a concept, but there's still even though we're not doing sports, there's fine motor skills that you need to build up, as
Well,
well
it's
as just sort of and this is the harder part to quantify. A part of your brain might understand it abstractly, but
that's a good way to say it.
applying that abstract thought and making it work and execute is a whole different beast.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it. That's basically what I was going to say, but I like that. It's definitely, there's a big gap there of, oh yeah, you have a base level understanding, as opposed to
Mm.
the understanding I have of this particular subject spans 10 years,
Yeah,
right?
of
Like,
practice of
it's,
execution.
yeah,
There's,
of actual
it's
execution.
the
It's a big difference.
it's the difference between knowing the theory and having the wisdom of knowing how the theory, like, of actually using the colors, of
Yeah.
experimenting, of messing up over and over and over again.
He there's a point, I can't remember what was the exact point he makes at the end. That,
Um.
oh, opportunity, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the one point I actually really agree with,
He talks about
is
opportunity and people having degrees and follow because they're following their passions. There's a skill gap.
right, and they're
There's jobs that are not being filled that need to be filled, and
right.
people
Well,
go
that
ahead.
that but that part I don't care about so much, but
But no, no, no.
I
Go ahead.
I'm more, yeah, I'm more concerned with, like, how he says people are, they're following their passions but ignoring opportunity. So
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
how that applies to us is, we both have huge aspirations and
Oh,
goals
of
that
course.
we cannot achieve right now.
Yeah,
And
yeah, of course.
I mean, let alone, it's one, skill,
Yeah,
two, like, our just resources. I think resources, yeah, resources is a big one.
mm-hmm.
Time,
Time,
time is a huge one. We just need
huge.
more time.
Which
And
honestly was going to come with more money, but yes.
right, so the big thing is, while we have these big goals, big lofty goals, we still need to be open to opportunities that come across, right? Like, that's it would be it would be ridiculous if we're not raking in the cash and tomorrow someone offers us a job and we're like, oh no, I have my own thing I'm working on right now, but
Yeah.
you're not making any money.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
like yeah, it would just be a poor business choice.
Hmm.
And also and you're missing an opportunity to possibly improve on that job. Maybe there's something you learn there that will apply
Yeah.
to what you want to do in the future
Yep.
with
Yep.
your own thing.
Hmm.
So I think that being picky early on is a big mistake.
Yes.
Very big mistake.
Yes. Um, Something I had to learn the hard way. Um, Obviously, that's within reason. If you really feel like for various reasons you don't want to do something, then don't do it. It's because it's good. That decision is going to haunt you, right? Obviously, it's the difference between what people call quote unquote selling out, which is different than what I think the masses use it for, um, versus turning your head away from a good opportunity to improve. Um, I'll go into my definition of that maybe later. Um,
Wow.
but
There we go.
uh, are we better? Are we good? Sorry,
Much better.
sorry.
100%.
Okay. Um, well then.
Little
So
technical difficulties. It's all
yeah,
good.
I like slightly moved my mic closer to my face. That's literally all I did. Um,
Okay.
but that's all I need right now. Um, so when it comes to to this whole opportunity and job market, right? He has a very good metaphor where he talks about how he talked to this multimillionaire who basically ran septic tanks. And he said he's like, I basically looked at where everyone else was going, and then I went in the opposite direction because that's where the because
Oh yeah.
because that's where the jobs were at. Because the skill gap he talks about. There's people getting opportunities and whatnot, but they're not willing to work jobs that you know actually need to be employed and filled, and you know that they might not enjoy. He makes a very good argument for the fact that your happiness at a job isn't predicated on whether or not it's your passion. His ending statement is don't bring don't don't work on your passion. Bring your passion with you to work.
Yeah.
Um, and uh, from what I can gather and understand to that is obviously there I think he's making an argument that with if you the way you look at how you work your job can give you motivation. Obviously, that's true. I'm not gonna say that's not a thing that you can work on. But also, if you do have a hobby or something that you're working on, one of your big things is you can use that job as, hey, this is helping me eventually get to the place where I can do my passion either full time, and therefore you work harder at your job, knowing that you know this is in service of a greater goal. Like this isn't. It's the hope of you eventually. I don't have a better word for it. Escaping, like it's jail, uh,
Oh my goodness.
getting better, um, that sort of deal.
Yeah.
So I did like that point. I did like. I think the biggest point that the whole talk is self awareness. I know Gary Vee talks about this, but self awareness is self awareness, not self consciousness. Don't confuse the two. Self awareness and self consciousness are two different things, and a lot of artists are self conscious, but not self aware. Um, Self awareness will help you realize, hey, I haven't practiced my scales, or hey, I'm not. I can't hit notes like these professional people or these people who've won these game shows before and have set a precedent can.
Right.
So I
Right.
should practice before I go and audition.
Yeah, and you actually you made the statement before we had started where you should you should be. I don't know if you said you should or shouldn't be
You should.
comparing yourself to people who are better than you. Did you say should? I think you said
I
should.
said should. And I said,
Right.
but what my caveat was, once again, this goes back to the self consciousness thing, is not to be detracted when you realize you're not at that person's skill level.
Right. Yeah.
That's
And
that's what happened to me. I you at least at the beginning where you're like looking at all these people and you're like, for whatever reason, you start, instead of seeing it as, oh, people have done this before, so it's possible for me. It's not the and therefore mentality. It's the but mentality. The, oh, they've done this. It's impossible for me. Whatever that mentality, however that mentality arises,
okay.
don't let it overtake you. If
Yeah.
think of it like this: if somebody has done it, there's a strong chance that you can do it too. If somebody that
Yeah.
mildly looks like you has done it, there's a chance that you can do it too and break past it so that other people can break past you. That's how humanity gets better.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty funny. You say it like that too, because we had the same discussion where this was a few nights ago. We were talking, it was about genius. Remember?
Genius,
And
yes. And
and
it
yeah,
does, this sort of does come up in this a little bit, yes.
it does. It does. It applies like because you're saying reach for that ability that you see someone else achieving, and then try and break past it.
Mm.
Well, I think that because you're building upon it's that quote I'm standing upon the shoulders of
Giants,
giants, right?
yes.
Right. Well, those giants are just people from the past
Yeah.
that have the people who preceded you who worked hard on
It's
that craft or that science, whatever.
rather than giants, it's more like we're in one huge like piggyback ride towards the
Like
heaven.
a world Z. What is that? World War Z?
World War Z. One
Climbing up
We're
the
one
wall
huge
type.
human centipede, except we're vertical. I feel bad for the guy who
and
was at the bottom. Sorry, Adam.
yeah, and that so, so one one way to look at like this is just something I read in this article, and it was talking about the idea of an inventor of something being a genius, and the example was uh, Gutenberg, the guy who invented the printing press,
Yeah.
and it was saying he didn't invent the 100% invent the printing press.
Yeah.
He invented the last 5%, and the rest of humanity that preceded him
Led up to him.
made the yeah they were the ones who built up that 95%. And he just took what was given to him and it used things in a creative way. Of course, there was another little side thing saying he didn't actually invent it. The Chinese did a couple hundred years prior, but
Mm.
that doesn't really
I
matter.
mean,
But
back in the day,
basically,
low key, the Eastern countries invented a lot of things before the West did.
yeah, yeah. It was just the point was that your achievements are reliant on the rest of humanity. Which I mean that there's a I think it's more so just like respecting
Mm-hmm.
uh, the people who came before you,
Mm.
like and taking the time like that. That's why we study masters. We look at their stuff and we're like, oh man, these guys are amazing. Well,
Mm-hmm.
people technically now have the ability to be as good or better,
Or better.
or better than people from hundreds of years ago. Uh, simply because we have a lot more resources now, and we have their study to work from. But it's simply we need to look to them, for keys or clues or
Yeah.
anything, just the technical side of things to understand, lighting, form, value, whatever. But
Yeah.
it's yeah, yeah,
It's it's standing on it's standing on their shoulders and sometimes doing a handstand. Uh,
sometimes doing
hey, sometimes you gotta twist it up. It sounds like it's a collaboration. I love that. I love how it sounds like. If any of you are afraid to do collaborations, don't be, because anything if you have any idea of, if you ever want to do anything that's inventive, think of it as you basically just collaborated with 1,000 years of artists before you.
Hmm.
So don't be afraid of doing collaborations with artists that are alive.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No.
uh, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to put your stuff out there, because you might be helping somebody else. Um, which is why we sort of do this podcast. As well as
Yeah.
what else did I want to say?
We're trying. I mean, I think another thing is we're also trying to just because we do have a lot of the same opinions, but we also have a lot of different opinions, like just
Oh,
between us,
oh, the talent thing. Yeah, I
Oh,
remember. I remember
well,
that
no, just
argument.
like I mean, I don't know. There's probably tons of stuff we don't agree on.
Oh, of course.
We haven't talked about everything, so I don't know. But I feel like the more we talk, the more we learn. Just in
Oh,
general.
between the two of us, yes.
Between yeah,
It's in philosophy. It's Cornel West was talking about how just talking, or philosophers, or was it Cornel West or just my philosophy teacher? There's something about the discourse of philosophy that involves, or should involve, a discourse with another person. There
yeah,
has to be a talking point, because when you
yeah,
talk to somebody and they're willing to listen, and you're willing to talk back, you're better defining your world around you.
yeah.
Um,
There there was actually in this same article I was talking about where it was saying one person's not responsible for an invention. Well, it was also saying how important language was to humans
mm,
because
mm,
for the longest time humans were not able to speak, and that I don't know what you believe in, but we're talking about scientific stuff
yeah,
here. The right, so there was this idea that um, around 100,000 years ago,
we don't have we didn't have written language as well. So
not
yeah.
no, it was actually I'm sorry, 50,000 years ago, the first word was spoken.
Hmm.
Okay, and it was basically saying how important language was, and that two people had like the 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 instance when one person spoke to another, they were able to exchange information and learn from it.
And ideas.
And
Oof.
yeah, and ideas. So, and two people can have one conversation. It was also saying how more people expedites this. So, or uh, it makes the process even faster. So, two people can have one conversation. Three people can have what is it? Wait, no. Three
Eh,
conversations. Yeah, three people can have three conversations. Four people can have. I can't remember the exact numbers. It was like eight. I don't know,
mm,
five. I can't remember. But anyways, it was basically saying once that number goes up to five, no, five can have. Oh yeah, four can have 26, and then five can have like a
mm.
million. I don't know. It was some ridiculous jump. But basically, the
Okay.
point is,
It sounds like
once
they're
you get
putting
to a certain
exponents on it.
right, once you get to a certain amount of people, there are so many conversations you can have. Learning is just multiplied by so much, right?
Mm, mm.
So it, and it's basically just the exchange of information. I mean, it's pretty obvious when you see the internet what
Yeah.
the internet did to
Oh,
information.
and We have
Like
advances much faster now, just because of the speed.
huge. Yeah, huge. Because now, like
And
just
collaborations
seeing,
are crazy. I'm literally
yeah.
talking to a man in Texas 10, 30, 40, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. I would have had to mail a letter to this dude.
uh,
Like,
yeah, it'd be
literally,
pen
there's a good
pals.
chance I would have lived and died 100 years ago without even knowing this man existed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just, it's just facts. It's just, like, it's crazy to think about, like, how much technology has shaped just the way we view the world.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, we our ability to get better faster at art
Mm-hmm.
is not solely reliant on the internet, but it is a very big part.
Oh yeah, true.
Like all the information we're able to take in and learn from. Like I paid for a club access that has 250 plus videos from a dude and
That is
who's worked,
insane.
you know, an industry professional. Just think about that.
No, that is crazy to me.
Like more than a decade ago or so, like
Mm-hmm.
all these other guys like Craig Mullins, they talk about how they had to figure it out themselves,
Now it's
you
just
know, and
handed
it's
to us on a silver platter, and it almost
yeah.
feels like our generation is like not
I
doing it.
mean, it's fine because as long as we take advantage of it, you
Yeah.
know, like yeah, and some people don't like whatever, but I mean, the resources are there,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I yeah, I just I think it's really a huge part of helping of people developing quicker, just in general.
Yeah.
Um, because you know, it would probably would have taken me I don't know maybe 5 more years to figure out I should just pinpoint things, you know,
True.
and
True.
yeah, I
I'm
it would have taken me a while to figure that out.
and I personally am definitely going to be a good artist and steal that idea, the pinpoint idea. Just
You're going to be a great artist
great
because
artist,
good artists
and
copy,
just
great artists steal. So you're going to
immediately,
be a great artist.
just take that idea of pinpointing and
Steal it.
take it to my own stuff.
And the funny thing is, I had this idea when I first started, but I
Mm.
was afraid. I was
You didn't think it
afraid
was qualified. You didn't think it was
exactly.
good.
I was afraid that everyone would. It's such an immature thought, but I was afraid everyone would pass me up. You know, it was like that.
Mm.
Oh yeah, while I'm working on this one thing, oh everybody's spending all their time doing all these other
Yeah,
doing everything at
doing
once.
the general thing.
I'm
Oh,
yeah
and
I'm behind.
I
I'm
know
getting
you.
behind.
I know you've been waiting for it. I know you've been waiting for me to finally explain an RPG, the RPG metaphor, and here it
Oh
is.
yeah, yes.
Here is the payback for the RPG metaphor. Okay, now imagine an RPG. You have your various stat lists. Mo- Everybody who's played multiple RPGs knows this. You pick you pick a goal of what you're going to have your character spec in, and then you go all the way with it. Because at the late game, if you're too even, you're going to get wrecked. If your stats are flat after a certain point, you will be destroyed by the monsters around you. So you have to spec. Am I going to be the dagger rogue guy? So that means I'm going to have dexterity, uh, and then two other minor stats. So health and I don't know, stamina or something, right? Um,
Yeah. Your primary, secondary, and tertiary
Tertiary,
skills.
exactly.
Yeah.
The same with
Yeah.
fighters, mages, all that. That's the same. Don't tell. I don't want anybody to ever tell me video games didn't teach me anything. In life, you need to specialize.
Yeah. Yeah.
Find something that you're good at or enjoy doing, and get so good at it that people can't turn you away.
Yeah.
And then, when you're that good, you can do whatever you want.
Well, you can just add on another thing to it.
it's
Yeah.
it's that's basically just end game. At
Yeah.
Endgame, you can just farm whatever you want, and then be like, "Well, I now can make my character like a lowercase g god and just wreck things." Welcome to Dark Souls, everyone.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's so funny because as you say that, I'm thinking about Dark Souls.
Hey, man.
Like I was thinking
The,
about spending the skill points. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, strength builds. There's certain builds in Dark Souls where there's it's called a quality build.
mm-hmm,
Not to get too nerdy here, but basically you normally you would pick like the strength stat or dex stat
mm-hmm.
or intelligence or faith to focus your damage
Yeah.
on one of those four things, but with the quality build you pick two,
Mm-hmm,
and well, specifically strength and dexterity, and
mm-hmm.
it's just to have them at a high enough level to use certain weapons
Yeah.
that scale better.
Scale better. Yep.
Anyways, yeah. So this is a
That's
game thing. I don't know how that. I don't know if that applies to
that
art, but
that
or life.
that.
Maybe it does.
Oh, it definitely does. I just explained the metaphor. Find something you special, and that displays art. If you're going to be a concept artist, don't be doing comic books.
Oh, oh,
unless, uh, unless, unless you actually do start to do concept art and you realize you hate it and you love comic books, then do comic books. Right?
well, yeah. I guess that does apply because like the one person who puts 99 into strength
Mm-hmm.
is obviously going to be better at strength based things than the person who puts 40 in strength and 40 in dex.
Yep.
But the person who puts 40 strength and 40 in dex is still at the level cap in the game,
Yep.
the actual damage cap. So they're still going to be really good
Mm-hmm.
at physical based damage.
Yes.
But they're not
But
going to have as much damage as a strength person or
yes.
as much specific dexterity damage as dex
Yes.
full dex build. So I mean that would be like fine artist or a figurative painter is they focus their whole life on the figure.
Mm-hmm.
They're amazing at the figure, whereas a character designer knows the figure to a high level,
Yeah.
but they also know other things to
Mm-hmm.
incorporate
Character
that. So
design
like
and stuff.
yeah,
Yes.
armor design, clothing design, weapon design, all these
Mm-hmm.
things. So
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
it's still specialized, but not as specialized.
And yes, and certain, and it's very well. That's why I say specialized, as in the sense of figure out what your thing needs, and even in that your particular branch of whatever you're doing, whether it's fine art, comic books, all that, whatever that specialization needs, um, find your own style in that, because there's still variation in that. There's some
Yeah,
comic book people who don't use color theory that well. Like they're doing three tones like it's an anime, and their comic books are great, right? And then there's people
yeah,
whose like comic books are straight up just paintings, also great,
right.
but one has
Oh
better
man,
color theory than the other. Okay,
straight up, straight up painting a comic book. Oh, the amount of time, dude.
hey man, when you're at Kim Jong Gi level, it's probably the same amount of time.
Painting a comic, it would still take a long time. I mean,
Probably.
imagine Oda doing One Piece
Ugh.
all full painted. That would
Ugh.
be horrible.
Oh.
By hand. He would definitely have already started using his left hand by now. his honestly, his both hands would be gone shot. He would be
He'd
using his
be.
foot.
Oh my goodness, there are parallels in if any of you. Oh, have you forgot to do our recommendation for the week? Here's my
Hmm.
recommendation: read Bakuman. It's a comic book on uh, comic books, and not in the sense that Scott McCloud's making comics, which is also a great recommendation if you're trying to get into comic books. But it's specifically a manga about mangakas making it in the manga industry. Same author artist duo as the people who gave you Death Note. You guys
Hmm.
probably like that, or
Yeah.
same artist who did All I Need Is Kill, the adaptation that eventually became Edge of
Edge of
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Right.
The book version and or the comic book version is much better in my opinion because
I actually I read a couple chapters of that in a library one time. I was just like, "What is this?"
yeah, it's freaking great, isn't it?
Oh,
Became good.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
And then it opened me up to the doors of, oh, there's a lot of like American stuff that's just been adapted from Japanese manga and stuff that American people think is like original IPs, but no, the original script writers are just huge otakus.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude, like Edge of
Okay.
Tomorrow, like because it's Edge of Tomorrow, nobody thinks, oh, this was an anime.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, wait. So how does that? I wonder how that works.
I have no
We're
idea.
going on a little sidetrack here, but I wonder how the copyright works and whether or not they
I
actually.
think they get the licensing for it.
Okay.
Especially
Yeah,
for
because
especially when I was reading the manga as it was coming out for that, because it was a short manga for All You Need Is Kill. It was only like 30 or so chapters, so you could read it. I saw the little promotional thing for the Edge of Tomorrow movie. I think they made the manga in tandem with the production of the movie. I think the books had been out for a while already.
yeah, the books were out. I read from the books. I didn't even see a manga, so I didn't know there was one.
I just assumed that, oh, if they're doing promotion, then they got licensing because they're doing an ad in a Japanese thing for
Right.
the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well,
Um,
that's good. I mean, because you know how their whole industry goes with the making money and everything.
bruh. But back
So
to specialization. Yes,
yeah.
just figure once, and that all that specialization will come back to you being self-aware. Oh, that looping point, man! I am on fire today, dog. All right,
Dang. Okay, feeling yourself, but I mean
it's
that's
true.
still yeah. But it calm down. But it does apply. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because but it's tough though.
Oh, it's so
Like
hard.
I,
Go ahead.
I mean, I know what I want now,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yes,
I had no idea. Like a year and a half ago, I had no idea.
I I was gonna speak to that point. I was in the exact same boat as you, Kyle. Exact same boat.
Yeah, it was more like I mean I knew I needed to just try things,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
try as many different things
Yeah.
within art. Of course, this is all while in the process of drawing.
Yes.
Try things, figure out what I'm actually interested in.
Mm.
At
You're speaking
first,
the solution.
right. Well, my first thought was when I wanted to do art, I was like, wow, I want to make amazing, I just want to bring my ideas to life,
Yes,
and
I
and then
like
it
drawing
was,
pictures.
I like drawing. I just want to draw pictures. No, I didn't like drawing pictures because I didn't draw any at that time. So
Yeah,
there was no liking to happen. It
I
was
want to
simply I
like
was
drawing pictures.
yeah I was just an admirer, and I was
Exactly.
like, I need to do
Then you
this.
taught. Then you walked up right up to that girl and said, "Hey, want to go out on a date?"
And you failed.
No. She said yes. That's why you're
Okay.
here. You're in a long-term committed relationship with
Oh
art.
oh God. Okay, I didn't get that, but yeah, no. So it was like at first it was a vague goal. It wasn't even you could hardly call it a goal. It was just a vague idea of a goal. So
Yeah.
then went into it. See, oh yeah, you can be a concept artist. What the fuck is that? What is this
Oh, the
thing?
most attractive thing that every
Yeah. So
person that grew up on
well,
the internet being an artist has heard of. Oh, concept art. Yeah, I'll do that.
yeah.
Video games.
Well,
Yeah, I love video games.
right. Yeah. So it was like, oh yeah, this is cool.
I
Wait,
like
so
movies.
yes, yes, and this was my feeling the whole time. I was like, oh yeah, oh so okay, so you get to design standing still characters and guns that don't move. They're just sitting there in like profile straight and 3/4 views. This is fantastic. Yeah, no, I can get on board with this. I'll still be drawing pretty stuff, and it was okay for a time. Like
I love the low key diss.
okay, like I have no problem doing this, and if the opportunity comes this way, I will do it. I'll do it. I'll do it because it just
that
experience.
that
But
that shade. The shade was so slight. It was like
no,
it's like you got
it
underneath that shade and it only made a 5 degree
well,
difference, but it was still shade.
right. Okay, so
I love it though.
see
I get it.
the thing is, I just got to be honest.
I
This
honest
is 100%
same
honesty.
same way,
So
dude.
yeah. So I was, I thought that was what I wanted to do. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I'll work on it towards this thing, and then and I had seen illustration, and I was like, oh yeah, that's really cool. But I was like, oh, well, I didn't know anything about it, so I just didn't really pay attention to illustration,
Mm-hmm.
and and uh, then found comic books,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't even remember if this was like, I don't know if it was specifically a conversation with you or not.
Might
It
have been
might have been.
angry. I don't know.
It, maybe I think it most likely you. I don't know,
Okay.
but basically comic books came into the mix, and I was like,
Oh,
oh yeah,
yeah. I
I
hopped
forgot
into the
about
Discord and I was just like, I'm the comic books guy. I like all of my middle school to high school life was manga and books. So
yeah.
I just was like throwing him stuff because he was like, "Yeah, I like comic books," and I was the anime character that heard like that like turns his head and then his eyes turn into like the stars, like ting. And I was like,
uh,
I like homed in. I was like, "Hey,
so
man."
yeah, so but that came up, and that was like, oh yeah, wait, no, this is awesome
Yep.
because not only will I be creating the boring character
You'd be the
sheets and
concept
everything.
characters. Yeah.
Yeah,
Currently, what
no,
I'm doing
which
right now for the story I'm working on.
yeah, which dude, straight up, they're honest, they're boring, okay, but it's awesome because okay, this is it's not. I'm just look. It's not boring in a
It's
bad way. It's
boring
just
when it's
boring.
the only thing you're doing.
Right. Okay.
It's
So.
I find doing character sheets now that I like actually have a story in my head and like know what I
Mhm.
want to do with it. I when I do the character sheet, I'm like, yes, I'm so ready. Let's do it. You know.
Yeah. Well. See, the thing is, it was like my way of looking at it was a
Mm.
little off because it was more like, oh yeah, it's just a character for like a game or a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now it's oh wait, I know this character. I'm creating their life. Everything about them.
Yeah.
That like that. That's what draws you in to being excited about
Oh, the beauty of
creating a
character,
character.
the beauty of character design. As do you
Yeah.
remember the video I showed you from what's his face? Uh, the guy who does critiques on anime, and he said the secret of good character design, and I was just like, yes, this is the thing that attracted me to concept art was
Hmm.
being able to visually tell a story without your character ever saying a word, just off their design alone, like
Hmm.
because. What character design does is it taps into humans are prejudiced. Let's before you get into the whole oh, I'm not. I don't see color. Shut up. You're not colorblind. But we,
What?
it's gonna come to a later point.
Okay.
Humans are prejudiced, so we judge things based on various things that we have in our lives and what we've seen before. So when you use character designs, you're using that and you're manipulating that so that it all of this affects um, how a person views a character. Where you can use that to uh, their visual design to affirm their personality, or what I personally like, and I might probably put in my story, use it to an ironic twist, or to humanize them.
Yeah.
So a big thing about like a basic prejudice. I'm not going to get into race or whatever, but a basic prejudice is um, bigger guy, right? Muscular. He's tough.
Hmm.
You draw a big blocky guy, and in it, like you could make his personality like the Thing or the right where he's just like a tough, gruff guy, and that works if as
Or
long
a
as you
dumb brute.
or
Yeah.
a dumb brute or whatever, and that works. And certain archetypes exist for a reason. But you could also use that design to highlight the fact that when that same character sees a bug, he screams, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Right. Right. And yeah. So I mean, there's the nuances to character designing a character that are enjoyable,
Yes,
like
but it all relates back to story.
which yeah, which is there's more to character design than just the visuals.
Mm-hmm.
there's the progression of a character.
Mm-hmm.
There's everything. Like it's not just the visual side. It's also their inner world, who they are as a
Yep.
person, and that
Their
part.
outer world.
Yeah, that part is really what excites me. Is that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and but
Your deep
as I was
characters.
saying, like yeah, as I was saying that the now it's come to a point where it's not only comics. I'm just interested in making a story.
Oh,
So
mm,
whether I
mm.
did an illustrated novel, a graphic novel, a comic book, whatever, I just want to create a
A
story.
story.
So
Yep.
yeah, and
I'm there too.
or maybe just or maybe just do the like you told me the other day it got me so excited.
Oh.
The J.R. Tolkien thing, create
Oh
the
yeah.
whole history of the world
Yeah,
and
and
then
the three
the
books only
story.
like scratched like 2% of
This
everything he ever written
oh,
for that world. And
but
that
yeah,
he's the guy who created the medieval fantasy genre. Or not really created, but basically basically created like the way we think of it, like the fantasy genre. Um,
yeah,
so
yeah, and dude, the only thing is like I would treat it like my idea is to be more like a uh like a lot of iterations. So
mhm,
like the whole Anthony Jones rapid iteration thing.
yeah.
So be like a Stephen King kind of,
Mm,
make a lot of short stories, but then have your magnum opus, your The Dark Tower,
mm,
right? Which
mhm,
is his 8 book series,
mhm.
I think, which is huge. That's what
All of Stephen
I
King's
would
books
like to
are in the
do.
same world.
Are in what?
Are in the same world.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Even his
Yeah.
short ones, which is amazing.
Right. Right. Right.
Even
Right.
then, he was world building. It's great.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Um,
Well, or he found a way to interlock them
well,
or like bring them together. Like
no,
I
he'd
mean,
been planting seeds in all the books. To I don't know, maybe
I'm
there are some retcons, but yeah, they're like
yeah. Well, I mean, just think about it. He's human. He
yeah,
like
of course,
there's I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe he did plan everything, but I mean, a lot of things just happen on the fly. Like
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It's probably a little bit of both, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, a bit of both for sure. Because it's weird. I know we're
Oh, we went away
this.
from our original topic so hard.
Yeah, we did.
So
Yeah.
basically to sum up that topic before we continue, be self aware, and the best way to gain self awareness is to do. Just do and ask people around you or people in your field that are close to you or are willing to tell you the truth. Hey, what do you think I'm good at? Because for the most part, humans are good at figuring out, hey, this is what I'm bad at, and it's a really good survival skill to have. I understand why we have it, but in this day and age, you also need to be really good at really know what you're good at, or what you like to be good at, and then
Yeah.
become good at, so that
Yeah.
you can sell yourself later for leverage, or sell your
Right.
art, or just be have a higher sense of self peace.
Yeah.
So
Well, and finding
go ahead.
finding what once you start on that thing,
Mm-hmm.
once you decide what you're good at,
Mm-hmm.
dissect your skills within that thing and find your weaknesses.
Find your weaknesses,
Find your weaknesses, work those out, and build upon the strengths as well.
and
Anyways,
honestly, you're going to be doing that for the rest of your life.
rest of your life.
You're going to be trying to get more and more self-aware, and you will. And the thing is, you will change, and sometimes in ways you don't know that you're changing. So you will always have to take time out of your day or your week to just sit down and reflect on how your art is, how you yourself are, your situation. Just
Hmm.
take that time and reflect, because sometimes you change without you knowing you've changed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Absolutely. Gotta
um,
reflect.
so, once again, steps. Do a lot so that you figure out what you don't like to do. Just do a lot. Do it consistently. do a wide array of things. Take your sample picks. Then out of your sample picks, go and consistently do them. Talk to people.
Speaking of samples,
Oh boy. Don't do it. Don't do it to me, fish. Don't do it. Don't do it to me, fish.
never
Please
gonna
don't
get
do it
it,
to me.
never gonna get it.
No, 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 no.
See, I got it. I have to do it, man. I
Why is
was
our
just
turn?
waiting. I was waiting. I was waiting for you to say something that sounded remotely like music.
I hate you. We're gonna be the show that has segues but doesn't have segues because they're so bad we have to call them out. Or we'll be trash because we know because people will think they said something corny and don't think it's corny.
Oh man.
That
No,
might be
no,
our
no.
charm. Hey,
See, we're
that might be our.
self-aware. No, we're
See, we're
self-aware. I know
self-aware, so we're
exactly. I
always.
know.
I would
I
dap
know
you up.
exactly what I'm doing.
I would dap you up, but you're in Texas because that was good. That was a good callback.
Uh,
That was a freaking amazing callback. Good job. See that negates what you were just about to do with the whole sample thing.
yeah. Huh? Oh, that was honestly, I didn't even. That was a bad attempt at ruining the segue because I didn't even know what I was going to say after the sample thing. I
Boy,
was just I was just saying sample just
now I'm
in the,
disappointed again. God damn it, Kyle. How you gonna
okay.
disappoint me, make me happy, and then disappoint me again?
Oh man.
In the span of looks at wrist, 5 seconds.
You got me on that one.
Sample size, specialize, and rinse and repeat.
Rinse and
Oh
repeat.
yeah, and take time to really think: is this what I like? Do I still enjoy this? Do I want to explore something else? Do I want to continue this? What skills do I have? What is the market around me looking like?
Mm. Well, and the
And
thing,
then
do I?
keep it going. Yeah, keep it going. Sorry.
Yeah, and yeah, I would say that the do I enjoy this thing? Do I enjoy this thing is I would say do I enjoy this within whatever you're working on
Whatever.
because yeah, being quick to quit something is also a
It's
terrible
bad.
idea.
It's bad.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a terrible idea. It's horrible.
But there's a lot of skills in art. There's certain specializations that do translate. You just need to figure out how they do. Like once again, character design. You wanted to be a concept artist. A lot of concept art is character design, but character design translates very well to comic books because you still need to design a character and visually
Yeah,
remind yourself. And a lot of that same thing still works in animation because you still need to make a character.
yeah,
As long as you're dealing with people and architecture, design will always be there. But color theory, a lot of it still translates. So if you get really good at one thing and you realize, I don't really want to do it, and then you get to another, that skill didn't just disappear. You just need to
mm,
work on these other skills that you didn't quite work on.
right.
So never really give up hope. Um,
Hmm.
there's actually a chart that Sakura had.
I think
But
we went
you can
enough on
find
that
it.
subject.
Yeah.
We went enough on that subject. I think people get the gist of what we think about
Yeah.
passion or just in
Passion.
improving in general.
Sorry, I get a little passionate sometimes. I had to
Oh
do it to
man.
you. I had to do it to you. I had to do
Oh
it to you.
man. Except it doesn't bother me because I'm usually the one who does these things, so
I hate you.
uh, it's all good, man, but hey,
I actually hate you.
uh
Die.
so
Remember that's the character I thought of with the cute voice that just said, who secretly just wants to murder everything.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Die. Kill yourself.
Oh my god.
He's just like a cute buddy. And the little girl picks him up. I love you, Mr. Wiggles. Kill yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Uh, oh my god, I'm a horrible person.
Anyways,
Anyway,
anyways, we were gonna talk about
oh
our musical influences
Oh man.
for
Oh,
that we feel as if we were to go into music,
give me a
what
moment.
who we would who we would most sound like or draw inspiration from.
I'm currently making uh, currently making music. I was in band a little bit, so I have a jazz band and stuff in my head. So give me a moment because we are talking about a topic that is of your importance. Middle school and high school. So let me just go to my bathroom real quick and get the mascara and edgy makeup because
Uh,
and the edgy makeup because it's about to get it's about to get really emo and dramatic in here for no
wow.
reason.
Okay. Wow. I okay. I feel like I picked the wrong stuff, but I okay.
No,
Edgy. I didn't
you,
listen to anything like that.
you didn't listen to anything angsty.
No, I didn't really listen to anything too crazy until I got older, I guess.
Really, bruh.
Yeah.
I remember listening to a lot of stuff that was just like, and when I say edgy, I mean like high schooler edgy, not like really actually like something with an actual edge to it. I mean like what I thought
Oh,
was edgy. You know, that's why I said that. Like the oh my
see,
parents don't understand me that type stuff.
that kind of stuff. Okay, I thought you meant like, see, when I was a freshman in college, and this is when like baseball was breaking down for me. So
Okay,
of course I was just super depressed, but
my life's purpose has died.
exactly. So I came across Tech Nine, and man, it was pretty.
Oh, Tech Nine.
It was pretty bad for a while,
Oh,
but
he's been the king of blood of edge since like he was XXX Tentacion before he existed. He was
oh
Hobson
man,
before he existed. See, the problem now is my man Tech Nine is an old man who has a little bit
yeah.
more wisdom, so he's a little bit more tolerable. But
Oh
still,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a weird point. But anyways, so are you collecting your thoughts? Should I talk about mine?
oh, I got my thoughts. I'll open up
Oh,
with
you okay.
God.
Oh, that sigh.
So I'll
I
just
don't
start
think
out.
people are gonna like that sigh.
People, or some people might. I'm not, but don't. But calm yourself, you nasties. Anyway, uh, I will. I didn't get into hip hop until like really get into hip hop until high school. Like you know when I say really, I mean like going and looking for people who weren't really you know on the charts all the time. You know, I knew Soldier Boy. You know, God rest his soul, King Soldier, Big Soldier. I
Wait,
knew.
God rest his soul. Did something happen to him?
Yeah, he turned into what's his face, Draco, little Draco or whatever he calls himself now. So,
What?
and he started doing stupid stuff. So I'm saying
Oh.
I'm resting his persona of
Oh,
when
okay.
he was
Wow.
relevant
Wow.
or
Okay. I
significant.
totally
Sorry.
thought he died for a second there.
Oh,
What the
sorry.
heck?
Well, some people.
Oh, why? Hey, man, you don't have to apologize. I wouldn't be too upset about it or nothing. I, I okay. I just being honest.
Soldier Boy just 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 had like something pierce his heart, and he was like,
No,
"Not
he's
me."
fine. He's fine. I mean nothing to him. Yeah, I'm no. Who am I to him? No one.
He just
Same, and him to me. He's
he
no
just
one.
said he just whispers to
So,
himself, "Soldier Boy's heart, Soldier Boy broke his heart in this hole.
oh my God,
Watch me
no.
dig a grave, and watch me roll.
Oh my God.
Watch me
No.
and watch me Superman that grave. Watch me Superman."
So I'm gonna go ahead and start with what I was influenced by. Anyways, so I want to say mine,
Mhm.
and I want to know if you know who one of these is. All
Okay.
right.
All right.
Okay. So two I know you
We're
know who
playing a
they are.
game. Cool.
So Black Eyed Peas
Do I know them?
and of course you know who they are. And on in Vogue or on Vogue, however you pronounce it.
Didn't really
So
know
Ian,
about En Vogue, but
yeah. So
Black.
specifically their Funky Divas album, my dad used to play it. My dad used to play it every time he took me to work with him because he used to
Props to your
own
dad.
a
Sounds
he
like a
yeah
cool
he
dad.
used yeah he used to own a pool business and he'd take me with him when I was a kid and always heard like played the crap out of their album
Mm,
as well as another band that I'm about to say, but
mm,
I I
mm.
I just remembered their music being uh I don't know, I loved it. I just remember like loving all of it. I didn't understand any of it. So I went back and read up on them, today and they actually addressed a lot of topics uh like like racial issues,
Mm.
like I don't know if it was like sexism specifically, but it was more like they have one song, um, I can't remember what it's called, but basically where they say, "Oh yeah, I wear tight clothes and heels, but I'm not a prostitute," right?
Oh,
But
okay.
it was like that, and this is back when it before um, I feel like what they addressed back then was before all the it was kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah,
Like
social justice
before
warriors
the
ruined that
yeah,
sentiment of
right. Yeah.
talking about it.
So yeah, it was really surprising to see that. And anyways, and of course Black Eyed Peas. I just remember listening to their Elephunk album,
Bruh, let me
and
tell you something about Black Eyed Peas. You asked me if I knew about them. I couldn't. My school made it impossible for me not to know about the Black Eyed Peas. Right?
what do you mean? Oh,
So,
impossible. Oh, no, no, no. I thought you meant you didn't know because your school made it impossible to know.
no, they made it impossible for me not to know. So
Not to
basically,
know. So to not know. Got you.
every Friday we'd have like, or every other Friday we'd have a home football game. And even if you weren't going to the game, right before school would end, an announcement would start to come on, and they would play. I forget. This was like
No,
2010.
no, no, no.
No,
Don't funk with my heart.
no.
No,
They played.
no, no, no.
This is 2010, so it'd be like,
Boom, boom,
boom,
boom.
yes.
Yeah,
You're so
boom, boom,
2000 and
boom.
late. No, no, 2008. You're still 2000 and late. Na, na, na,
You,
na, na,
yeah,
na, na, na,
yeah.
na, na. Oh,
See,
no, no, no. It wasn't that one. That was 2000. Yeah,
it
that was
wasn't. It
definitely.
wasn't that.
That was 2008. Frick. It was
Wait, 2010. That's after they had already broken up. I'm pretty sure. That's Fergie on her own.
No, no. It was definitely Black Eyed Peas, but they were
Will I
definitely
Am. It might be Will I Am
and some of
on
the.
his own.
No, it was definitely like
And Apple D.
they might have been taking some from an old song, but I know
Mm-hmm.
they did. Uh, no, 2010 was the year they were going to break up because I remember the END album,
Oh,
right,
yeah.
where they were like saying this is the end or whatever, and trying to make. But it was basically I'm trying to remember the song. It was it was like the lyrics are the lyrics like the night. Dana, 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 dana. Crap. I think my brain's trying to delete it. But basically, the gist
So,
of the story is that every Friday, God, I must have like it must have traumatized me. Like I can't.
because you listen to it so
My
much.
brain's like trying to delete it and is like forcibly making it impossible for me to remember it. Because that whole fall, it was you could not escape having that song in your head
Wow,
because
that's
they would
awesome.
play it. All right, awesome. You,
Yeah.
I do not like it when good songs are ruined. And that was an okay
Well,
song at best.
okay. All right. All right. So, one of their songs, I don't know
It was
how
over
many
school
people.
speakers, so it was sucked quality wise. God.
Yeah, yeah. So one of their songs, of course, "Where's the Love." I'm just thinking about it right now. I'm like, man, that song is always going to be relevant. It
Yeah.
it Yeah, such a good song,
Yep,
dude.
yep,
Like,
yep.
yeah, dude. I just remember being a kid and being like, oh man, this song makes me feel good. But then I'd go out and be like a total douche to people. Just remember
Just little
it just
Kyle, just little Kyle
not
in the car,
working.
all nice and stuff. Just like, oh, I hope the world is better today. Gets out of the car, kicks a homeless person. Get
Oh
off the
man,
streets.
yeah,
10 years
yeah.
old.
It's just amazing how little, I mean, how much things influence you when you're younger, and how little they influence you when
At the
you're
same
younger,
exact time.
all at the
Just
same
listening,
time.
just humming. Where is the love? And just walking through a department store, knocking things down. Where is the love? Stomping on
Yeah.
people's feet. Where is the love? Punching old ladies.
Oh my God. So good. Uh so the last one, the I only had three that I could really I could really call bands or groups or just anyone that
Yeah.
I listened to extensively as younger. So Squirrel Nut Zippers. Have you ever heard of them?
What? No.
No. Okay. So this
Wait.
isn't Squirrel Nut Zippers. I'm gonna sing a little bit of one of the
Okay.
songs. I'm not gonna sing it like crazy, but this is another one that my dad used to play religiously.
Was it pool party?
So it's the song is called Hell.
Oh.
It
Oh.
goes, it's like, in the afterlife, you could be heading for a serious drive. Now you paid the casino day, but tomorrow there'll be hell to pay. And it's got like this like jazz
Ooh.
uh
It makes you feel not as
horn
bad
and
about your eternal damnation.
yeah, it's like it's got this little jazz thing, like trumpet going in the background
You
and
go
like
to hell. You
yeah,
ding, and just
I
that's
just
the elevator music.
yeah,
And I was like, oh, maybe this won't be so bad. And then you open the elevators,
yeah.
you just get sucked into the darkness. You just
Oh man, I'm gonna have to show you the video for that later because it's just so weird. It's so weird, but
say
I'll never forget that song. I'll
things
never
just in an
forget it.
elevator, just with a cup of water. Had to put it in there, you know. People ran the moment they saw it, so had to fool them with the good music. It has a little jive to
Good
it. You just hear
little
scream,
jive.
just hear screamings in the background while the music's playing.
There 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 is yeah. There's a point at the end of the song where he just starts screaming. He's just but it's like it's like just like it's not like it's not
Not
rock
it's
like metal
it's not
screams. It's just
screamo. It's not. Oh,
it's like straight up like
it's not System of a
ah
Down.
I'm dying. It's more like I'm
Like
going to
excited.
hell.
Oh, it's like the party scream, except he's talking about hell, so it's a double
You know
meaning.
that that soundboard scream that you get in bad horror movies? It was like that scream.
Well, there's a name for that. The Wilhelm scream. There we
The
go.
Will it wow. There's a name. Wilhelm scream. You learn something new every day.
Look that up. It's in everything. It's in Star. I think it started in Star Wars. Like people just like ah,
Oh my
and
god, I'll
it's
have to look
hilarious.
that
There's
up.
actual clips of people just they reuse that asset. So good.
That's so bad. No, that's
It's
not
like
good. That's so bad.
no, it's amazing because it's like the through line from SpongeBob. You know that one fish that always scream and be like my leg. It's like fighting that except for movies.
Oh my god.
Oh,
So
that's
what do you
great.
got for me? What are your
Oh,
influences?
okay.
I'm
Let's.
curious.
So, okay. The joke here is that I was an outcast when I was in middle school, as you can tell, as if I'm not already nerdy enough, and I was self conscious about it. So that led me naturally to what I call the suburban blues, and basically emo.
Suburban
And this was
blues.
middle school. So, also being the son of a pastor, I couldn't really listen to anything edgy at the time. And because I didn't really know anything really that edgy. I mean, I had friends who listened to Metallica and Iron Maiden and stuff like that. And I listened to them once or twice, but they didn't. They were talking
I was
about.
expecting at least Marilyn Manson. Like, come on, dude,
Nah,
step your
B.
game
I
up.
never really got into Maryland just because of, once again, religious background, and I was just like, this band is probably actually Satan incarnate.
Oh my god.
Shit. um,
So a small side note: him and Lil Uzi Vert, I think they're doing something together, a project.
oh
Anyways,
yeah, yeah,
continue.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
He did a Facebook thing called Lucifer Rising, and
Oh no. Oh
you
no.
know what Lil Uzi Vert's play name is a play on?
Whose?
Lil Uzi Vert.
Oh my goodness.
You just
You
got it.
saying that, I just caught it.
Yeah.
Oh, oh
He has
my
a
God,
song called
Lucifer,
you know
Lucifer.
you know how Jay-Z had 444.
Yeah, he has 444 plus 222, right?
What does that add into?
Obvious. Come on,
Yeah.
come
And
on.
it's all he's playing with that devil imagery. He's actually been playing with that devil imagery for a while. He bought upside down chains of crosses,
Hmm.
which all of you Satanists out there that are like, yeah, upside down crosses equals Satan. No, actually, you are.
Yeah, it's
That's Saint Peter.
Saint Peter's cross. Yeah.
He decided that he wasn't good enough to die crucified like his Lord and Savior, so he decided to be crucified upside down. So what you're really saying is the Lord Jesus is so much better and more worthy than you that you'd rather like die in a way that only He would
Wow.
respect. So good job for you. You inadvertently are praising Him every time you wear that cross. Anyway.
Okay. All right. Anyways, no religious debates. All right. Continue with musical influences, sir.
So Philmont.
Sir.
They're like
Phil,
a band that was very like white guy. You know Smosh?
wait, what are they called? Philmont?
Philmont is play,
Okay.
which probably that's crazy because my name's Philemon, but it's
Yeah.
Philmont, but Philmont. Now,
I can guess why you listen to them.
yeah. I always made that joke. It didn't get old after the first 30 times I did it.
So Philmont. I don't know Smosh either. I'm not familiar with them.
Well, I forget you're old man. But Smosh was a YouTube duo. I know that got under his skin. That silence. Smosh was an old duo of YouTubers that started in like 2008 or around that time.
Okay.
And one of their main guys, I forget his name. Is his name David? He was stereotypically called the hot one. Um, he had that hairstyle that was big back in the day
Hmm.
for white guys that listen to emo music. You know the
Which is what?
hairstyle.
No, I don't.
It's like the Justin Bieber except a little bit weirder. The old Justin Bieber. It's a little
What?
bit so like you have the bangs that come out
I
really
don't have
long.
bangs.
No, I'm talking about. I'm trying to describe the hairstyle. You have
I
the
know.
bang.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
You can't play baseball with those type of bangs, dog. You have the bangs that come out and swoop to the side,
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I got you.
and then the
And it's just
hair,
long all around.
and
Yeah, as
yeah,
opposed
and
to
like, but the
right.
thing is, it's like because Justin Bieber had his like cut to like perfection, so everything just like looked like a really like he made the bowl cut cool. Uh, he made like a cool version of the bowl cut. That's what Justin Bieber did. They did it, except they did it and made it like wild and frayed, I guess, so that they could
Yeah.
differentiate it. And sometimes they put like streaks in it and like wore skinny jeans. That's the type of band this is. Um,
Right.
I was like, oh, this is cool. I was listening to them. I listen to them now, and I'm just like, here's the thing. I'm not angry at emo music. I'm not even angry at Philmont. Philmont isn't necessarily the bad band that I was thinking of. There's other bands that I listen to that I've actually forgotten the name of, thank God, that were, you listen to them and you're like, It's not that serious, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the whole problem with suburban blues. It's speaking to a demographic that hasn't had enough life experience to realize what an actual problem is. So, the little things that they're going through, as it goes with relationships and all that, or
Hmm.
and thinking what adults really are, cursing to that, cursing all the time because they feel like that makes them mature,
Hmm.
and being edgy yet immature at the same time. That's the
Hmm.
that's what that music symbolizes to me. And I'm just like,
Um,
no,
yeah.
nah, B, I'm good. I'm not in that
Yeah.
place anymore.
Right, right. And I think it's they yeah, that demographic, not enough life experience, all that. Yeah, I get that. But at the same time, you know how it was being that age. It's
Yeah,
pretty difficult. Like it's really difficult.
it's really difficult. Parts of your brain that are structured for social stuff are developing, but the part of your brain that's self-aware, another callback, boom, is not.
Oh, self awareness didn't exist for me at that
Yeah,
stage. So
exactly.
it was more like, man, it was, and there's a certain amount of like bliss at that
Mm,
stage.
yes,
It uh,
yes.
because you're only focused on what's in front of you.
Yeah, and what's your surrounding you is like the most important
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Which it's yeah, like I said, it's that ignorance is bliss kind of thing. It's to a certain degree,
And
but
even if you're and even if you're like, oh no, I was self-aware, even maybe even too much. There's a difference between self-aware and self-conscious. You're not self-aware if you're being self-conscious. Being self-aware is realizing that what other people have and what you have at the same time. And once you realize those two things, you chill out a lot. You chill out as well because you realize people are just as worried about a bunch of BS as you are.
oh yeah,
And then you
yeah.
realize we're all imperfect,
It's
so
it's a,
it doesn't really
it's like
matter.
it. Yeah, it's a true. It's like an actual having actual empathy
Yes.
with others that you
Mm.
just don't have early on.
And then
And
when you're self conscious, you think, oh man, I'm the worst, or oh, I really don't want to blow it, or everybody's better than me, or
yeah,
whatever. No, they're all
right.
trash.
Yeah.
You're all trash. If you're at this age, if you're at that age, you're seventh grade or whatever. Just realize right now you're trash. You're going to be a better person. That's your hope. You're not going to peak. Your peak is not middle school. If your goal is to be the best person in middle school, you failed as a human being.
Whoa.
That's just facts, right?
Okay. Dang.
If you
So
peaked in high school, you failed.
yeah, that's funny you say that. Picked in high school. There's a phrase my dad uses a lot because I coach with him,
Mm-hmm.
and he says to the players, "So do y'all want to be high school heroes?" And there and some like we had one player go, "Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I want to be awesome in high school?" And he was like, "What? No, idiot. Like,
Idiot.
do you want to peak in high school?"
Uh,
And like that's what high school hero. It's just a way. It's a metaphor
yeah,
for someone who they're the face of the school for the
yeah,
football team or
yeah.
basketball, whatever the team that everyone's like, oh yeah, that's the most popular kid. He's awesome, and then goes on to graduate high school and doesn't do anything, and they're
Or just is average.
or average, yeah. But I mean, people who were in those situations I graduated with, a couple of them actually aren't living now,
Mm,
and
I know a
and
couple of
it's
those
really
people as well.
yeah, it's really sad.
Because
It's
they
really
were
sad.
chasing a high that they couldn't get once they get out of high school and depression.
Yeah, that stuff goes away.
Yeah, you.
Goes
But
away.
dang it, man! This is supposed to be the fun part,
Yeah, I
man.
know. We kind of went on a little. We got sidetracked, but I guess we decided to
Just the truth.
address the younger crowd
Yeah, I guess if
a little
I
bit.
don't know if we're even I don't even think that's our fan base at this point. But any of you who are in high school listening to this, don't peak in high school. Realize your problems are not that big, but also realize your problems are not that big. Realize Other people's problems are not that big. But also be empathetic to the fact that you're all struggling together. So don't be a dick. Thanks. That's our PSA.
Oh my gosh.
That's my
So
PSA.
that's yeah. I'd say just love yourself. Love yourself and continue to improve. Whatever.
Love
But anyways,
yourself, but also love others. There's some people who love themselves too much.
so what is
What
your
what else?
next
Okay,
one?
so this is
Because I'm just curious. Because right now, if it's gonna be like this every band you say, I'm wondering, man, what was young Philemon like?
a mess.
A mess. A mess. Oh man.
Uh, next one. Next one would
Oh,
probably be. uh,
that's weird, man. It's crazy. Like,
Bruno
cause you.
Mars and B.O.B. But continue your point.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's crazy. How you say this phase of listening to this music. How old were you? About?
Philmont, that was 7th to 8th grade.
Oh wow. Okay.
I
It's
think.
it's so
Go ahead.
it's crazy. I just think it's crazy because like for me that period was actually after high school. I was
Mm.
18, 19 when I went through that whole depressed phase. I don't even call it a phase, but I was definitely super depressed for a while.
I was depressed in middle school at various points, but then also at various points in high school. But I will say I was also happy at various points. But that's the
Oh
problem.
yeah, absolutely.
That's the problem with happiness, not being at peace. There's a difference. Happiness is based on happenings. It's situational. What you want to be is at peace. That's what most people are looking for, but they confuse it with happiness, so they try to chase bliss. That's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
um,
Absolutely. We
uh,
can talk about that more in another podcast because we're going a little
oh,
over
I'm not gonna.
time.
I was gonna go into the B.O.B. Bruno Mars thing.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars and B.O.B., especially the song that broke them. Um, Beautiful Girls, if I remember. I don't know if that's the name of the song.
Beautiful girls.
Girls.
Yeah.
I used to love
Oh
Bruno Mars.
no. Yeah.
Well, I
It's a
could
pretty good
be.
song.
That's what introduced
Oh
me to
my
both of them.
goodness.
I loved Doo-Wop and Hooligans by Bruno Mars, and I loved B.O.B.'s, what did he call it? I loved B.O.B.'s um, Adventures of Bobby Ray. Mostly because
Okay.
it was a person in rap who seemed to be as nerdy as me and black, and he made it. Which then led into me eventually getting into Lupe Fiasco later on in the line, who's another big influence. Food and Liquor is a classic in the hip hop community, and I didn't know it at the time. Won a couple Grammys, and Lupe Fiasco, if any of you know, has beaten a professional, like a couple years ago, beat a professional Street Fighter. Was it
Oh
Street
no.
Fighter? Street
Oh
Fighter
no.
player. So
Do we need to have this debate right now as to whether or not that was
I don't know.
fixed?
I don't
Anyways.
know if it was fixed or not. All I know is the results, and I was like, "That's
Yeah,
pretty
no.
cool.
I
He's
watch.
nerdy enough. I believe it."
Okay, I get that. I'm just I watch I watch him play fighters a lot,
Oh,
and
he streams a
I've
lot.
seen Dago. I've seen Dago fight a lot,
Oh, okay.
and he's also, if you know who Dago is,
Mm,
Daigo.
he's
Sorry,
like a
not Dago.
god.
Daigo. He's actually yeah, he's considered one of the best ever Street Fighter players, and
Oh, so you think he
there's
might
a
have thrown the match because it's Lupe?
well, but the thing is, there's issues with whether or not Street Fighter V caters to people who aren't as skilled as older players. But anyways, that
Mm.
doesn't matter. Segue or
Uh,
side thing. It's all good. Continue.
that was just to prove that Lupe was also a nerd who had
Super
supreme,
nerd.
supreme. He likes anime. The only other people who liked anime at the time was Kanye West in hip hop. Kanye West, Lupe Fiasco, and Pharrell. And I didn't really get deep dive into Kanye until later. I knew about him. I liked him. He was cool. Gold Digger happened around ninth grade for me, and I loved the hook. It's a great song. Freaking Jamie Foxx is a legend, but didn't really get into him until later. So Lupe was the dude, and I didn't even get to Pharrell until like I barely even knew about Pharrell until like college age.
You
Uh,
know, the funny thing about Pharrell is I remember when you told me about his how he
oh, his
has a little
signature,
signature.
his signature
Yeah,
three beat pattern.
I
Doom doom doom
actually
doom.
noticed. I actually noticed that in a newer song recently.
Oh yeah,
I was like, yeah, I
produced by
can't remember
Pharrell
what
probably.
I can't remember what song it was, but I was like, whoa, wait, and then I rewinded it and then heard the 4 beat
It's
intro note.
it wasn't was it 4 or 3? I thought it was 3. It was like doom
It's
doom doom
four.
doom. Oh, it's
It's
4. Okay, yeah.
yeah, it's 4.
Then he starts into his actual beat. Yeah,
Yeah.
even Pharrell's signature is unique. Yeah, look that up on Genius. I think it's Genius that listed all of the beats Pharrell's ever worked on, from Jay Z to Missy Elliott to his recent stuff.
Okay.
He has this for our listeners or viewers because I showed you this video. Look that up and just listen to. Be amazed at all the songs that start with that doom 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 doom, or that 4 beat repeat, and that Lupe produced on it, or not Lupe, Pharrell produced on it. Um,
Excuse me.
so yeah, made me happy. All City Chess Club. Lupe started that. Lupe, one of the most slept on lyricists in the game for right now. Listen to Mural and try to pick out everything, every metaphor and extended metaphor, every triple entendre in his punchlines, and tell me that hip hop is trash. I will fight you to the death.
Man, you you ever meet my dad, y'all definitely be going at it. You won't like him after an exchange on that.
He thinks hip hop is crap. He thinks
No,
rap is
it's
crap.
just I tried to talk to him about Mural and he was just like having none of that. I was like, "All right,
He's just old.
fine."
He's what we call
Nah,
in hip
he's
hop the an
he
old man.
he used
No,
the
no, he doesn't actually like hip hop. He's just a big old man.
he used a little joke
Oh,
to say he doesn't need to know about music. He knows enough. Anyways, it was
he
dumb.
doesn't need to know
Anyways,
about music. He knows enough.
no. That's not the quote. I'm vaguely
Yeah,
hinting
but
that he
the
said
get the key.
something I'm not gonna say.
Ah,
Okay,
ah.
I'll tell you off air
Mm,
because it's a little bit not for
cool.
this.
I got you.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so there was that, and then after that, Lupe, and then B.O.B. again because he made like 2 albums while I was in high school. Strange Clouds was cool. Then I got into Frank of the Ocean. He was like I feel like my real first dive into R&B at the time, and that would
Frank
have been
Ocean.
Frank Ocean, and I feel like that was
Okay.
11th grade for me. That was probably my defining album. I could like define the like albums that I got into by year. Like B.O.B. and Bruno Mars, their albums were freshman year high school, 2009, ninth grade. Then 10th grade was me discovering Lupe Fiasco for whatever various reasons. Probably B.O.B. because B.O.B. and Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe is a beautiful woman. Thank God for her creating her. Um, did a remix, so Lupe Fiasco was 10th grade, I believe, um, where I really discovered him. And then uh, 11th grade is the year of the ocean, the
Hmm.
Frank of Ocean. Uh, I basically practiced thinking about you until I could hit that high note.
Oh
Uh,
dang. Okay.
Even in college, like I didn't graduate until 2013, 2012, 2013 year. So I've been listening to that since 2011, and I would always I'd go away for a couple months, but I'd always come back, and I still come back. Like that song is a classic. Um,
Hmm.
and of course, Nostalgia Ultra, his like mixtape thing he did before that. Um, love it. And then 12th grade.
Are we okay?
12th grade was the year of Kendrick Lamar,
Kendrick. Can't go wrong there.
bro. I would say I'm a stan, but the nigga's good. Like I can't be a stan when the nigga. What is a stan gonna say that isn't like factual or can't be like actually debated about Kendrick? I'll wait.
Wait. I'm sorry. What? A stan now? Wait.
Oh,
I
you
thought
know.
a stan was just a fan. I don't even.
Okay, okay. Stan is a difference from a fan. You remember Stan from the Eminem song?
Of course.
That's the type of fan we're talking about. Like a fan that's
Oh,
like
Die Hard.
a diehard that sees nothing wrong with the artist.
Oh yeah. No.
Like
That yeah. You don't want to be a
you
stan
don't
of
want to be a stan.
anyone.
It's called
Of anyone.
it's called
No.
that's why in hip hop it's like an insult. Oh, you're just a stan, right? You can't like they
Yeah.
try to tell you like oh you're not objective.
Yeah. You got to be objective about stuff. So
But
are you going? Are you,
go ahead.
I'm just curious. So I just want to kind of dive into like why we chose this topic. Like,
Mm-hmm.
are you are you thinking about implementing music into your practice? I see.
I
I gotta know. Like, we can't just see it. You can't just. I if he's throwing something in here like this, you know, he. There's a reason. There's a reason. You're dude. You're a fan of Lupe Fiasco. There is a reason to your moves. I will dissect what you pick.
Yo, that's genius. Oh god. Okay, so I've always been a guy who's made wanted to make music, even in my own time. I was in band. I was in jazz band. I wasn't in marching band, but I was in my senior year. I was in all three like sitting down bands you could have in school, and I'd been in band been playing saxophone since I was in sixth grade. And then on top
Oh
of that, I
wow,
went to church every Sunday singing. I live in an African household, singing. uh,
I'm ready. So when you make,
so I've always
I
had a musical element in my life, and I've always wanted to, and you've heard my bars, dog, you know.
yeah, I
uh,
would be. It would it would be cool. You could actually implement this with your with art.
yeah.
Uh, excuse me, with maybe like a motion comic or something, like
Mm-hmm.
actually adding,
Oh, like
you know,
what was that one that you showed me that had that piqued my interest? You showed me a
a
comic. Yeah, you.
motion comic on YouTube. I think I did. I can't remember the name of it. It had something to do with spirit Japanese spirits or something. I think if that's what you're talking
No,
about.
you had one. Oh no, maybe it was just a visual thing where you had a comic where it was on the internet and you linked it to me, and the guy basically like animated parts of the comic.
Oh no, that was Dave Raposa's uh,
Dave reposes.
Starvale. Yeah, that was Starvale. That's different. That's just okay. That's just a motion comic. What I meant is an actual animated
Oh well,
comic.
what's
So
crazy to me is there's certain if you go to Webtoon, there's an app on Webtoons is an app or a website where you can look at web comics, usually from Korea. They've gotten a larger American base to get on there as well. But I found an interesting thing on there where some of them would do like slight bits of animation, and then some of them would just have like a scene come up and you'd scroll and it hit like a certain trigger point and then music would play with the
oh
background of that scene. Oh man, when it
wow,
worked. Oh man, because
that's
you weren't
awesome.
expecting it. Sometimes you'd scroll and then just you'd be reading a really sad scene and you just hear sad music playing. You're like, I wasn't ready.
Oh wow, yeah, that's
Um,
cool. You have to You have to freaking tell me some of the names of these so
I
I can check them
completely
out.
forgot. I just remember the thing.
Oh man.
I'd have to open the webcomic app, which I haven't done in like years. Uh, and like scroll down and see if they're still going and see the ones that did it.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a cool idea. Hey, another thought for you. Um, yeah. So the reason I'm doing this is I think I told you, Fish. I found a beat making thing that I have, and it's not gonna take over my various. I have so many things I have to take care of. It's not gonna take care. It's not gonna take it out. Um,
Just remember, whatever you add on, it lengthens the amount of time it takes to get good at all
good,
these
good.
things.
Yes, of course.
So
But I've had this in my body since like sixth
I
grade.
will use I okay. So I will use your own advice on you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Make sure you pick a primary skill
I am.
and then secondaries and tertiaries.
You think I
Because
haven't?
these are, I'm just saying. So we've got you want to do art.
Mm-hmm.
You want to draw or paint.
Yeah.
You want to make
I
music,
already picked my three a while back, dude. I have a
and you want to
journal with them.
dance.
I
But
already
the thing,
I've had those three since
okay, all right. So
2013.
here's my thing. This is my thing.
Yes.
Those three things
Yeah.
are all lifetime endeavors
Oh yeah.
individually.
I'm probably gonna die doing all three.
Okay, all right. What I meant was one person could spend,
Oh, an
let
entire
alone the
lifetime just doing
yeah,
specializing in one. Yes.
one of these.
Yes, I know.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
I
I
believe in you,
forgot to
man.
tell. Oh,
I
now
believe in
that
you.
reminds me. Another reason I'm into doing multiple artistic forms at once. Childish freaking Gambino was happened in high school time. I remember. Yeah,
Yeah,
I forgot about him.
yeah.
So I listened to
Mm.
Childish Gambino. I'm gonna refer to him Childish Gambino. Uh, he
Yeah.
he was also you're starting to see a thread here. Nerdy black guy, really good at the art form. Basically, my high school years. Uh, basically, he was the nerdy black guy that was pretty good at rapping.
Mhm.
That talked about being made fun of for being nerdy black, but also won awards for writing. Had a hilarious show called Community, which he was one of the main characters for 4 seasons on. If you haven't watched Community, probably one of the most slept on TV shows from that time. Pop pop. That's all I'm
Hmm.
gonna say for anybody who's watched Community. Pop pop. You'll get it. Anyway, uh, and obviously, as you know now, he's uh he's won an Emmy for writing Atlanta and acting in it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he won that recently, and he won some other awards for Atlanta. He won something for writing on 30 Rock.
Hmm.
Was it 30 Rock? Yeah, I think it's called 30 Rock. And he had a cameo on there. Before that, he was on YouTube with a sketch comedy people called Derek's Comedy. I watched that in high school. Thought he was hilarious. He was great in that. Um, and
Hmm.
then um, yeah, he's like an OG
Okay.
YouTuber, and he's
Wait.
basically my
What?
inspiration. Yeah, Childish
He
Gambino.
is?
He was in a
I didn't know
sketch
that.
comedy group called Derek's Comedy that was on YouTube.
Wow. Okay. So I'll say this about him. He's he's so I'm just saying dissecting like what he does. So he's done comedy,
He's
music,
done stand up. He's hilarious.
screenwriting.
Screenwriting.
Yeah. Yeah, and what else?
Acting. He's about to be Lando Calrissian in the new Star Wars thing,
Okay, so
and he was in The Martian.
comedy. All right. So comedy. So I'm just saying, okay, here, comedy, music,
Uh-huh.
screenwriting.
Yep.
What do all those three things have in common?
Writing.
writing. Yeah, so it's a there's a common skill that all three of those things have. So he, even though there are three different fields or careers, they still have
I mean,
a
writing lyrics
similarity.
is different from actually producing beats as well, but I'll give you that.
Oh, okay, yeah, but I we weren't talking about beats. Just
Yeah, but he also did that
he
for his
wrote
music. Sorry.
he wrote his music.
Yeah.
He wrote his music. So though I'm saying those three things
True.
specifically. I'm
True.
not
True.
talking about beats. I'm saying those three things specifically. They have a similarity. So okay, all right. So he did beats as well. All right. So that's outside of that similarity.
Mm-hmm.
And then acting is also it's actually related to comedy in a sense because you're
Oh yeah,
putting on a persona to entertain people
he
because
went to
it's
NYU
or
for
just
acting, I think, as well. So yeah, he was
okay.
doing that there as well as doing comedy at night. So yeah,
Okay, so, but they have similarities because it's a form of entertainment in
yeah,
front of other
yeah, yeah,
people.
yeah.
So I mean,
Performance.
yeah, it's still performance, so it's still a performance art. So there are still parallels with those things. So I'm
Yes.
just saying, how can you then do the same thing for yourself? You know, like
Yeah.
dissect. How can you relate dancing, drawing, and music to each other so that you make it so that they are you still build up those skills in a way that'll help the three and not
Mm-hmm.
separate them.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
So
I
yeah,
mean,
so
there is
I
a. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
oh no, it's all
I've
good.
thought of different things.
It's all good. No, I this is hey, this is for you to figure out. I can't.
Um, there
I
is
don't know how to do that.
there
So
is a dance group called Legion of Extraordinary Dancers, if I remember right. And they had a web series where they basically made a story where it was basically superheroes, but with dance. And it was like, imagine Avatar, except all the fighting styles are dance styles.
yeah.
And there was like different schools and stuff, and there was like a ongoing story thread that was going on. I don't know if they finished it, but they had famous dancers from the hip hop community come through, right?
Right.
So that's when I realized, oh, not only is dance cool, you can do the whole storytelling thing other than step up 5 billion. um, you can actually do something creative with it, like crazy. So that's that's an inspiration. I've had some things in the clutch for that I'm gonna put in the pocket. I also have some stories about dancers that I'm gonna put in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
That I want to make into a manga, just because, or an anime, because I've
Okay.
seen sports anime and like the battle scene in hip hop very much fits into that. Hey, let's make a sports manga type deal. Uh,
Right.
and then uh, that's for the dancing so far. Music and my art. I've thought about it for various times. You don't know how many times I've listened to a song and been like, imagined an animation to go along with it or a story to go along with it. Like since I was been like in sixth grade. Uh, and it still happens now where I'll be listening to, I don't know, pick an artist. And if it strikes me, like I was listening to Cough Cough by Everything Everything, and I was already thinking about an anime opening to it. I already fleshed it out in my head. Um,
Wait, what do you mean in like the animation part?
yeah, like I was thinking, like as the song was going, I was going through the story beats of like what would happen throughout the, like if it was a music video, how I would animate it, and like the story stuff for that,
Okay.
or
Yeah,
like
that actually makes sense. Now that you're saying it out loud, I'm starting to see how you could implement these things. It actually is pretty straightforward, but
yeah,
you obviously, I mean, building. So the thing is, you can definitely make something
mm-hmm.
from those three things.
Yes,
Obviously,
yes,
it's just it's just yeah, okay. No, you know what? I can see that definitely being a thing. It's just picking which one which one takes the front seat for now, and
Yeah.
then once that skill
Mm-hmm.
gets to a point you're okay with, then another one gets the front seat for a while.
Childish. I'm also taking that from Childish Gambino's playbook. He said he's gonna stop making music for his last on his next album is his last. And
Okay.
in an interview, he said, "I feel like there's chapters to everybody's life. I think the Childish Gambino chapter is about to close, so I can focus back on acting and writing
Mm.
movies." Guess what he's
Wow.
doing?
Okay. Hell yeah.
Making award-winning stuff and acting in movies. um,
Absolutely.
so
Yeah,
he's
that's awesome.
so, and that's not to say that he's just completely stopped. Like, it's like if he has the hardware in his house to make music, he's going to do that. But he's not going to make the. He's not. That's not his taking his time as much anymore. So that's probably going to be what's going to happen to me, especially with the dance. I thought of this for a while. Dance is a very out of all the things I'm doing, it's a very athletics and body based type deal. Obviously,
Yeah,
there's
once you get
older.
older, it's yeah,
A lot of the older dancers are judges, or doing showcases or teaching, which I'm okay with.
right.
Completely okay with, and I might be ageist in this regard. I don't know. I don't really care, but
Well, the type of dancing you're talking about is physically very taxing.
taxing, yes. From breakdancing to
So
popping to crumping, yes.
yeah, that stuff like I can't imagine. I mean, it would be pretty
I've
cool,
heard
but I can't
quotes.
imagine like a 70, 80-year-old
I've
doing
heard
this stuff.
quotes from 30-year-old break boys, b dancers, b dancers, break boy. I mixed them up. B boys saying at the age of 30, which is pretty young, they're starting to feel it, like the resistance.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
imagine doing like you see all those moves they do. They're practicing as much as you draw.
Yeah,
So the wear on the body is happening.
yeah, because it's not just one hand; it's it's your whole freaking body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was thinking about that actually while I was working out today. I was like, man, I wonder what it would be like. Because there was a time you showed me a video of these guys doing the crazy. I don't even know what they're called, but like the windmill looking things where they're only on their hands.
Oh, the windmills. That's literally what they're called, windmills.
No, but they're only on they're on their hands, like they're the rest of their body, like they're doing a handstand windmill. That's the way. Is that a better
Oh,
explanation of it?
they're spinning on their hands basically.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it, but the breakdancers in there are gonna kill me for it. But yeah,
I,
I get it.
I
I
just think,
understand.
yeah, like think it like that kind of
It
crap.
takes
I'm
years
like,
to even get up to doing that if you're a beginner,
yeah, to be able to do that
and
one, and
then
then
getting
two,
good at it.
yeah, and like just I'm just imagining how much strain that puts on like you're just any of those things, how much
Yeah,
strain it puts on your body.
yeah.
Yeah, so okay, I get where you're going with this,
Um,
but I mean you're not okay, but you're not doing that. Like, are you doing breakdancing?
oh yeah, I do. Those very seldom videos are like. I'm not doing as much as I used to at VCU. The 4 hours every day for a semester is not happening, but I do practice like at the very least 30 minutes a day. The very
Okay,
least.
okay,
Some days I'll just feel the urge and I'll just like in the kitchen just be practicing tuts.
okay.
Um, so yeah, it's it's still a thing.
All
Man,
right.
we have a long episode today.
Yeah, we do. It's very, very long.
Well, I
Very,
ended
very
my
long.
like growing up stuff.
Heck yeah.
I'm not
And
sure, but
it's crazy, but I think we kind of came full circle in a way
yes,
with the passion and specializing.
yep.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna do multiple, this is my biggest challenge right now is just the scheduling part and the willingness to sacrifice things. That's it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be easier once I'm able to have my own place. So support us on Patreon once we get the Patreon going.
Yeah, please.
So we can
That'd be
dip
cool.
out and do have more time to
If you
draw.
Yeah, if you guys like the show, yeah, that'd be cool. Support us on Patreon when we put that up.
And support Kyle in his endeavors. Uh,
Hey, man.
help a man out. All right.
Hey, I ain't asking for no handouts though. Only buy my stuff if you like it.
Yeah, don't pity buy it. That's not what I was
Yeah.
asking for.
No, hey man. I'm just saying, I don't want no fake stands. I want real
I don't want no
stands.
fake stands. What does a fake stand look like?
uh,
They dye their hair neon
I'm
green
a, I'm
instead
a,
of
I'm a.
blonde.
So this is back from my listening to Tech Nine all the time days, but friend or foe, friend or foe, I don't even know. Off of the show, things they know. What I look like? Oh, shit. Dude. So basically, it's like this person coming up to you, being like, "Oh, wait, is that dude Tech Nine?"
Oh
He's like,
yeah,
"Oh yeah, I think that's him. Let's go over there and talk to him."
yeah, because he's
Oh hey, are
famous.
you Tech? Oh
I'm a
hey, are
big
you Tech Nine?
fan. Yeah,
Oh shit. Oh you are, man. I just listened to your new shit. Goddamn, man. That's a
yeah,
fake
yeah.
stand. Fake stand.
That's what I'm afraid of if I ever become famous. That and
Well,
like that
that's
and the
like that's
inability to just chill outside.
that's big time fame though. So I
Yeah,
don't think that's
yeah.
I don't know.
You say
Maybe it
that.
does happen. Maybe it does
We
happen to visual artists. I just don't think it does as much.
Well,
Maybe it
visual
does. I
artists
don't know.
they don't put their faces out there because that's not the money seller. But
Right.
you don't know, man.
Well, I don't know if I might be a little. There
Ross
are
Tran might
artists.
get
There
stopped.
well there are artists that I would actually be starstruck to meet.
Oh, I mean, I feel like that's with
I
everything,
can
but I mean, like
yeah
the occurrence of how much that happens is probably a lot different than.
yeah no
Yeah.
it's definitely a smaller scale, so it's definitely different.
Um.
I can tell
But
you right now, there I have been starstruck one time
oh,
with
really?
an artist, and it
Oh,
was actually it's slightly embarrassing. It was over
okay.
the phone.
Oh shit! You got his
Uh,
number,
no,
nigga.
no, 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 no.
Oh, okay.
So, you know how I had uh, paid for like a monthly subscription for a while from Watts Atelier online.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I had assumed because they get so much business that they just business is booming. They have all these secretaries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was having some issue with my one of my payments processing. I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
what the heck was going on, so I called him.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff Watts, the guy who runs the thing, answered the phone, and I'm sitting there with my hand on the phone, like, oh yeah, I have this problem. I'm trying to be as normal as possible because I'm just like on the inside, I'm flipping shit, like, holy crap, this is Jeff Watts, the guy I've been just like,
And you're
I
like,
want to paint
and,
like you,
and
dude,
you're tempted
like.
to be like, teach me, please, but you're also trying to be cool.
I mean, dude,
You're like doing the Doctor Strange, and you're just looking up.
oh man,
Teach
that
me.
teach me, dude. Oh man, yeah, I wish I could redo that conversation just so I could actually say how appreciative I am of his online course and everything, but I was just so
Hey man,
starstruck, man.
give
All
it, give us,
I was
give
like,
us,
oh yeah,
give us a couple years and
yeah.
500,000 more followers. We might have the leverage to pull him in.
Oh my gosh. Oh, get him on here.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that would be cool, man. That'd be really
Get you
cool.
a second chance.
No, I definitely. Well, whenever I get the chance, I'm gonna go to the atelier. I'm gonna take the trip to California for
Oh,
sure.
that'd be amazing.
Yeah, to actually learn in person because that'd be cool.
Make that a stretch goal. I'm kidding. We wouldn't do that to you.
No, I just
I said
that's
I'm
my.
kidding, dude.
Come on, what the hell?
You act like I don't want to come. You always think about yourself.
Stretch? Why does it got to be a stretch goal? That doesn't have to be a stretch goal. That's just when you make the money, you do things.
Yay. Yeah. And on that note,
Dude, that would be cool, man.
yo, that'd be dope.
That would actually be really cool. All
But
right. So on that note, are we done?
we
Are we done?
are finished.
We're finished. Find us on our various social medias.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm at Fish Gills, and
I'm
he is at the Void
Levoid
Art.
Art.
periods in between la and void
Yeah,
and
yeah.
art.
On
Yes.
Instagram, on all my other social media, there's no periods. Just do it.
Just
No
just
periods.
do it. No
Like
periods.
menopause. Uh,
Like wow. We just
bars.
lost any chance at having female listeners.
You
I'm
know,
just going to say
sh-
female listeners.
shut up. We all know there's some female listeners that were like, "Yo, that's bars."
Bars. Oh my god.
Shout outs to the females that know good bars when they hear
Okay.
them.
I think, yeah,
Good
that's
night.
true. All right. All right.
Peace.
Good night, y'all. Later.